like, um, nah, I never would be caught up with the cops. I'm out of delinquent, bro. Feel me?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you.
All right.
I know. I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm just saying this ain't gonna be you, right? You ain't gonna be like, yo, I'm a white boy just like me and you, man.
I might get off by telling my no bad.
Let me see. What's that guy always say? All right, all right, all right. He's running for, I think, mayor or governor of Texas. Matthew McConaughey. That's Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right. What I'd like to do is kind of start off right now. Start off this live. It's kind of like an after party. We coming off. Wait, I sound more like Terrell than Matthew McConaughey. Terrell got that smooth Southern drawl. How y'all doing? I was just thinking that white supremacy should be done away with so we can replace it with a system of justice. All right. So, music account. You don't block people. You have free smoke. Yeah, I do have free smoke. You talking to me? Music account. I don't block people. I don't block people. You come in with the smoke, you get smoke. Hey, what up, Adore Me? Adore Me. What's going on? Anyhow, this is the after party, right? Now, well, what did you do? Music only? Did you get on Rad's stream and you started trolling? Because you get what you get. I have kind of a platform that's a free speech absolutist platform, but I can't hold Rad to that same kind of standard. You know what I'm saying? So if you come on there and you start trolling, you get multiple accounts. Like if you saw how many thumbs down that man got simply for reporting the news, because all we're doing is reporting the news here. All we're doing is reporting the news. Let me actually. I'm gonna start posting the link and pin it. Okay, I need all you guys. If you're on any social media platforms like Instagram or TikTok, whatever, I need you to drop a link to this channel so that we can grow it. I want to see this channel grow to like 100. All right, right now I'm at what 50 something or 65 something. I don't know, but I need for this channel to grow to like 100. See, the thing is, I don't know if you guys have seen the things I put on this channel, but I take a lot of care to make the stuff I post high production value. Sorry about that. I try to make everything high production value. So it'll be a shame if I do all that work and no one's there to see it, right? What do they say? If a tree falls in the forest, no one's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. So if Brotep makes these hot videos, none of y'all motherfuckers is on the channel to watch it. Doesn't make any waves. You feel me? Yeah, post it on. Wait. Discord. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, you can put it on Discord. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of that it's you said Discord, and for some reason in my mind I saw Gab. I'm like, maybe we don't want Gab because that's basically a white supremacist troll hub. All right. Who's here from Radical? I think everyone's here from Radical because I don't really have an audience yet. You know what I mean? So 12 people, I think y'all came directly from Radical. Maybe one or two people came from like my own subscriber base, which is like 50 people. So, but anyhow, Blood Moon wanted this to be a fun topic. Blood Moon, how can this? Are you unaware of what's going on? How could this be a fun topic? How could we have a fun time? How can we entertain you, Blood Moon? You got Derek Chauvin out here. You feel me? Doing what he doing. Well, what he doing right now is he's gonna go to jail for a long time. Thanks, Cornell Brown, for just subbing. Uh, um, Derek Chauvin's gonna go away for a long time, at least 8 weeks. All right. So at the very least, we'll be happy to know that he's not swaggering around like he swaggered into that. Didn't look how he swaggered into that courtroom. Has anyone been following this stuff to see how this man's been swaggering to the courtroom? He's got his mask on and his eyebrows cocked like Bane, right? And then it got me so mad it started to affect my appreciation for the DC cinematic universe because I'm a big DC cinematic universe fan and I love Bane, as portrayed by Hardy. What's his first name? In the chat room, drop the guy's name who did Bane, because I'm at a loss for his first name right now. Tom Hardy. I was at a loss for his name. I got his name now. I'm a big fan of how he portrayed Bane. And so with this dude, Derek Chauvin, coming in there with that mask and then the haircut the way it is, right? And then his eyebrows cocked like that, and it also goes to show how evil this man is, that you have to go to the cinematic, world to see evil eyebrows like that. And then the way he looked at the judge when the sentence got not the sentence, but the verdict got handed down, and he's looking over back and forth, back and forth. Look how many times when you review the verdict reading, right? And then him and discount Jack Black is standing up, that lawyer of his who looks like Jack Black, right? When he's standing next to that lawyer and then he's looking back and forth, back and forth. Look how many times he looked back and forth at the jury and the judge. Like, I'm white. Are you serious? Is this happening? That is correct. All aboard. His eyes looked vacant and sociopathic. That that guy, he scares me. Not scares me as in he'll do something to me. Scares me in the way that when you watch a zombie movie and then you get that chill, like, you know, that primal chill, up your spine. That's what Derek Chauvin does to me, man. Because for you to kneel on someone's neck and then even after the guy's gone, he left no chance. He left no chance that this guy could possibly survive. Because even after there's no pulse, he still had his knee on that guy's neck. Fuck that guy. Fuck. I hope they lock him up with Chocolate Thunder. Those of you who watch Fresh Out, you'll know who that is. Those of you who watch Fresh Out, you'll know who Chocolate Thunder is. It's basically a 6'9" big black dude who has the strength of like an ox and basically rapes anyone who's, and not that I abide rape, all right? Not that I abide rape, but if anybody would deserve it, it would be Derek Chauvin. No one deserves it, but if anybody did, it would be Derek Chauvin. Apple Girl, long time no hear from. Where you been? Johnny Mills. Hold on, let me drop a link to the live, so anybody who wants to make their voice heard, they could come in through here. First things first. Hi, Papa. Freaks all the honey. First things first, I gotta check the. There you go. Okay, and that is muted. And there we go. There's a StreamYard link. And I'm gonna pin this message so anybody who wants to come in. Let me see why I don't have a background, which I need a background. I'm not gonna sit up here and look at a black screen with 3 dots on it. That'll be too much like the Predator. 1 second. There we go. Cornell Brown. What's going on, Cornell? What's good? Ooh, Sundown.
Oh, excuse me.
What up, Sundown?
Hey, how you doing?
What up, Cornell? What up, fellas? And I think is
What's
all
up? What's
aboard
up?
here. All aboard. You could hop in because you said some interesting things. Is it you who was on the who was on Rad's a couple of minutes ago? This is Robbie Blue. This is probably a troll. Hold on, fellas. Let me see if this is a troll. Robbie Blue, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Okay, you're not a troll. All right, good. All right, how's everybody doing?
So
Hey, what
good,
up? What up,
good.
Sundown? It sounds like you
I
got
didn't.
some opinions, Sundown. What's up?
Um. So what I was gonna say was, I think. Uh. So this is my honest opinion. I wasn't following the case. The only hold on one second. So I slept with my neck wrong, and I have a crick. So like my neck is like stiff. Um.
Okay.
So I didn't watch the entire thing. The only part of the case I watched was when that medical examiner said that with all of those people on George Floyd, his like left lung was collapsed, so he was breathing on one lung
Yeah.
or breathing from one lung. That's the only
Yeah.
thing I watched. But honestly, man, what I think, and this is just my personal opinion, I think that they made Derek Chauvin guilty
Mm,
because they didn't want Last Summer 2.0.
yeah.
They did.
But
If you thought Last Summer was bad, this summer would have
yeah,
been worse if
would have
he would
been
have been
lit.
found not guilty.
Yeah.
So
Like
that's what I think.
there was going to be consequences. But you know what? We all know that it's the correct verdict. So I don't care how we got there, just that we got there. I mean, the thing is, we can't. Okay, let me ask you something. All right. Um, it sounds like you're a little disappointed that we didn't get there the proper way. That it wasn't an actual verdict free of intimidation. But if we're gonna wait for some of these people, I mean, if you go on Twitter and hear how these people are talking about this verdict,
Facts.
there's no changing the hearts of these people, man. Like
That's why I just
they
say
were
fuck them,
mhm.
man. Just
Yeah,
say fuck them. Like
yeah,
their opinion, like
Honestly.
it's certain people that are going to have negative things to say no matter what. If it was done right, it would have been people with negative thoughts on it. Done wrong, it would have been people with negative thoughts on it. So like
Hmm.
my thing is, I focus on the the people that have my same kind of interests. So like when you
hmm
have trolls out there, when you have celebrities out there or public figures that say negative things, like I mean, I just tune them out. I just go to the next person. So I feel like if we put too much time in, just like remember like on February when that cop was like, "You take my breath away," and he used the picture of George Floyd.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that didn't even piss me off because it's like it's so many people that think that way.
yeah.
So I would be driving myself crazy if I took offense to everyone that had a different opinion than I did. So with with uh with the trolls on Twitter, just let them troll. The best way that you can beat a troll is to let them starve.
Yeah.
They do it because they know that
Starve them out.
yeah they do it because they know that they're going to get a reaction. Just like when
hmm
people yell out racial slurs, they do it because they know that they're going to stumble you up and get a reaction out of you. Best thing you could do is just ignore them. You
Yeah.
ignore them, then they'll fall into the algorithm of people that think like them, and they'll be miserable together.
Mm. Yep. That's a very good point. Like starve them out. Starve them out. Deprive them of oxygen. You know, the only problem I have with the trolls and whether I starve them of oxygen or not, it's the people who they influence because what they're doing is they're setting up an environment out there in an ecosystem where the things that they're saying makes an echo and it starts to influence other people and they start to think, well, maybe George Floyd did deserve to die. I mean, this is the fifth, eighth, 12th, 15th, 20th, 30th person that I've seen on here saying that George Floyd was a criminal. He was a drug addict. He was hooked on fentanyl. He was unruly. He was uncooperative. He was resisting arrest, and maybe he did deserve to die. And because no one says anything to those trolls, that voice gets echoed, 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 and it ends up influencing some people. That's my only problem with it. Other than that, I have no problem making those trolls starve because that's the actual best thing. If we could have it in a way where they don't have the influence and people still get to ignore them, even though they're caterwauling about nonsense, that would be perfect. But we also have people like Tommy Lauren, Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, Anthony
Right.
Bryan Logan, Jesse Lee Peterson. There's some reverend who said black people never created anything throughout history. I forgot what his name is, but you guys know which reverend I'm talking about. It's a fat reverend with a receding hairline.
Don't remember his name, but
Yeah,
I
but
remember
yeah,
seeing
you
his
have an idea though, right?
guitars.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold on. All aboard. What happened? Someone snatched all aboard off the screen. Um, when you come back, I guess we can discuss things. But economic freedom, Robbie Blue. I like your slogan there. What's
Yo,
what's that about?
didn't
Oh,
that
you said
preacher didn't that
what's
go ahead,
economic
sorry.
freedom about?
No, I'm sorry, Sundown. Were you saying something? Oh, there goes all aboard.
No, no, I cut economic off.
Okay. Yeah, economic freedom. No, I was asking you why you have that slogan. It's a pretty cool slogan.
Oh, well, here's the funny thing, the ironic thing, bro. Like throughout this whole like first off, I'm an older guy, man. I'm in my early 40s.
Okay.
Retired military, disabled vet, right? I
Oh
Oh,
used
wait,
to
okay.
you
do
retired?
music. Yeah, I used to do music and I left it alone for a while, right? And then what ended up happening is with the course of all of this stuff going on over the last 4 years, when I tried
Mm-hmm.
talking to my psychiatrist and people there at the VA, literally one of my doctors basically like sided with the white supremacists. It shocked me. I'm like, it's like I
Mm-hmm.
knew that I had a relationship with this guy for 5 years. And when I brought up Charlottesville, whenever that happened, like in say like 20, I want to say it was like 2017 or something like that.
Right.
And he just said, Bobby, that's just your perception. That's not necessarily white supremacy. I said, dude, a chick got killed. And that's when I started to realize, like, bro, there's people who can look at the same footage, see the same information, but come to a different conclusion based on their bias. So when I would
Yeah.
bring up
Hmm.
police brutality and tell them, that's why when that brother who was nervous that was in the Air Force, I could totally relate because I started to see, like, bro, all this chatter that was going on online, it started when Obama got elected with the Tea Party. You know what I mean? Long before they made Trump a candidate, bro, I started seeing these guys that would just make all these racist long paragraphs, right? And just try to and like you say, create echoes. So we
Yeah.
see the results of all those echoes. It culminated into all of this stuff that we saw happen on the sixth, on the 6th of January. And if everybody thinks that there aren't consequences for all these conspiracy theories and all this anger that's been stirred up, they're naive. But to tie it back into what I was saying, economic freedom is actually the name of a song that I put on my second album. I ended up literally today, CD Baby released my album. I have an album called Robbie Blue Chapter 6, Birth of a Nation, right?
Okay.
Um, and I
Drop
did it
drop a
like
link.
Star Wars. Huh?
You have anything on SoundCloud or maybe on YouTube like a intro or anything like that you could drop in the section. We'll
Uh,
pump that
um,
out.
yeah, yeah. Look, actually on YouTube. Okay, okay. If you're able to
And
get on,
since it's your music, we won't get a copyright strike, right? 'Cause
nah,
you
nah,
you ain't
nah,
gonna
nah,
sue
nah.
us.
No, 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 bro.
All
Actually, to
right,
be
good.
honest with you, I wouldn't mind getting your opinion because literally,
Okay.
they just distributed the YouTube music. It's supposed to go to Spotify. But
All right.
if you type in Robbie Blue in YouTube and you look on the playlist, you'll see the album. And actually, it's ironic because this time last year, I wrote a song called Cops
Okay. Cool.
because of what
Cool.
happened with George Floyd. And basically, because my psychologist said what he said about my perception, it actually inspired me to write my first album called 1 Million Views, right? And in
Mm.
that album, I just, man, it just was therapeutic for me to write. And I said I would only keep writing if people were feeling it. And I'm a big Star Wars fan. So I started off with chapter 4. Then I completed chapter 5 last March, and then boom, COVID and all that happened. And just so happened, just over the last couple of years and months, I finally put this last finishing touches on this other project, and I submitted it a couple of weeks ago, and they just now, took it through their processing, um, you know, I guess the processing of inspecting and all that. And ironically,
Yeah.
they they sent me an email today when the verdict comes in. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
all the riots and everything kicked off in May, and my birthday's in May. So like, if you check out my album cover, you'll see I had my second album cover. I called it the Food Stamp Apocalypse. Right?
Yeah.
I predicted everything that happened in 2020 and 2019. Like no
Mm.
cap. If you look at it,
Okay.
like God gave me a vision. I saw civil unrest, all of that. So it's like it's been a very spiritual thing for me, and I believe that economic empowerment and black and brown people trading together, and which I
Hmm.
think people naturally would do that anyway. Because I'm not going to be somebody that's so pro anything that I'm not going to sit here and buy some tamales from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or buy a shirt or whatever because I'm on some BS. Like that's crazy, man. I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like the whole concept of race superiority and getting triggered by that stuff, that's something really that those white supremacists specialize in and make it their bread and butter. I think everybody doesn't really care, man. Like if we were to go to the basketball court and hoop and I'm just trying to burn some calories, I don't
Yeah.
care if you're white, black, blue, green, purple, I'm just trying to hoop. When I was in the military, I never, especially when it comes to females, man, I didn't care what color somebody was. You're gonna vibe with who vibes with you. So I'll say this: if you get a chance to check out some of the music, man, tell me what you think about it because it's been an exhausting process, and it's one of them things where I'm like, okay, I do plan on advertising at some point, but yeah, the music is all my music. I wrote it.
Yeah. No,
Everything that you're gonna
I'll
hear.
play one of them right now. You have something called Black Messiah. Let me put that on right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. No, don't change your mind and sue the channel for over
Nah, bro, I would never do
copyright
anything like
music.
that. Dude, I don't even make them. Well, I don't even do the music necessarily for the
All
financial
right.
thing. You know what I mean?
Your mic is muffled, by the way. I
Can
couldn't
you
hear
hear me
you.
now?
Yeah, perfect now.
Yeah. I said, nah, bro. This is bigger than money, man. This was
All
spiritual
right.
for me, bro. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Hold on. Let me play that right now.
They fear the rise of a black messiah. Heaven knows they fear the rise of a black messiah. A leader that can unify and take us higher. A dream that we shared since slavery. To light a fire in my soul, call it bravery. Heaven knows they fear the rise of a black messiah. A leader that can unify and take us higher. A dream that we shared since slavery. To light a fire in my soul, call it bravery. Salute the fallen soldiers that really told the line. That really put in work. My folks are still blind. I know the feds are watching. They plot to undermine this black unity. Like it's organized crime. Speaking truth to power. It takes a lot of courage. Look what they did to Malcolm. Was it really worth it? Possess the knowledge itself. It really makes them nervous. They're ready to see me popping pills over sisters twerking. Now we can choose to leave or we can choose to follow. You can stack your bread or you can choose to borrow. Just follow God's plan, cause it's been prophesied. No turning back, the gates of hell are swinging open wide. I watch it plot in position just like it's Game of Thrones. Instead of
I'm
spreading
gonna mute my mic so it doesn't echo.
Hey, somebody's
Oh, there's an
echoing
echo.
like crazy.
Oh, hold on. I hope it's not me.
The rise of a black messiah, a leader that can unify and take us higher. A dream that we shared since slavery. To light a fire in my soul, call it bravery. Heaven knows they fear the rise of a black messiah. A leader that can unify and take us higher. A dream that we shared since slavery. To light a fire in my soul, call it bravery. When mama prayed for a messiah, she didn't know that she was growing one inside her. Her baby daddy disappeared, nobody beside her. No money for the diaper, she gotta be.
Yeah, that shit is hard.
Cause mama, she a survivor. You gotta be a fighter.
Yo, man, I appreciate you listening. That was off of my second album.
To a man that turned into a shepherd for the wild little lamb. Prophet that could walk across the Nile like it's land. He could cure a virus with his hand. They say the prophecy was told, and there would come a day that God would send us a Messiah, someone proper for the throne, higher conscious in his soul. He could breathe life in the dying man's lungs with the power that he holds. I know this isn't written in the Bible, there's a Messiah hidden in every child. Heaven knows they fear the rise of a black Messiah, a leader that can unify and take us higher. A dream that we shared since slavery, to light a fire in my soul, call it bravery. Heaven knows they fear the rise of a black Messiah, a leader that can unify and take us higher. A dream that we shared since slavery, to light a fire in my soul, call it bravery.
It seems like everybody's looking for a black Messiah. Let them light coast download and reach higher. I had to go inside the dark just to spark light, talking on our people's heads like it's Fortnite. I'm trying to run it down the middle like a Kansas Chief. Don't want to see my seed grow or its destiny. You are your only penance and your words speak life. Don't be afraid of the flame, ignite your life. I had to be the person that I needed when in doubt. You recognize the primal force working within and out. My DNA exploded, passionate overdrive. Remove the limitations, became a mastermind. You are the leader that you seek while you reach up. On your grind, unified and keep that fist up. Be your brother's keeper, we gotta break the chains. Into my melanated goddesses, may you maintain.
Heaven knows they fear the rise of a black Messiah, a leader that can unify and take us higher. A dream that we shared since slavery, to light a fire in my soul, call it bravery. Heaven knows they fear the rise of a black Messiah, a leader that can unify and take us higher. A dream that we shared since slavery, to light a fire in my soul, call it bravery.
Yo, I appreciate you playing that. That song featured Cambada and my cousin Alex Little. I felt like I wanted to get other people's perspective on that topic.
Okay.
That's off of the album The Food Stamp Apocalypse. The one that just got released today is called Birth of a Nation. Actually the same guy who did Tupac's Machiavelli cover, I
Yeah.
hired him to do the cover for me. So it has like it has me on an upside down cross. I don't know if
Okay.
you look under, if you go to my channel and you go to playlist, you'll see it. And you can pull up the cover. You can tell me what you think about it. But I appreciate y'all listening, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's one of them things where when you're working on something, you never know how other people are gonna feel about it. But I felt like instead of criticizing the younger generation, I just wanted to contribute and do something myself. And
Yeah.
you know, I plan on experimenting and you know, playing around with some other sounds, man. You know, now the music game is wide open. You know, you could just express yourself. So why hide stuff in your hard drive? Why not just share it with the world? And if people are feeling it, you know what I'm saying, then it is what it is, you know?
This shit was tight, man. This shit was tight. I like this shit a lot. It's actual hip hop. I don't know what the hell's going on right now, but that was actual hip hop.
Actually, I had one request, not a demand. On my
Mhm.
newer album, the song that I wanted you to listen to was called
Sure.
Cops.
All right,
And
hold
you
on.
understand why, because it has a George Floyd clip in there, actually.
All right, hold on. Hold
And
up.
that's
It's
what's
called Cops.
crazy
Let me
about
go
the
on there now.
verdict happening today.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me look it up right now. Hold on. It sounds like somebody has an echo.
It might be me because I have the
You,
mic on,
you,
but if you go to
yeah,
playlist and
yeah.
you click
You have
on that,
multiple. Yeah, yeah. But when we start playing the music, it's gonna have the echo again. Do you have multiple tabs open?
nah, I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna mute mine
Oh, mute my
as soon
mic.
as you play
Okay,
it.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Yeah. Under playlist, it'll show that album, the birth of a nation. Yeah, and then it should be that one
Which
that
one?
has
Right here.
the cross. Yeah.
Okay.
If you click on it, there'll be a song. It should be a list of songs. It should be one called Cops. It's the second song.
Cops.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All
mute
right.
it. You tell me what you think
All right.
about it.
No doubt. Playing right
With
now.
gifts where sales reps are reporting
Right after
38%
Shorty
higher
stops selling me
inquiries,
something.
2 times more meetings, and 20% or more in
All right, later, Shorty.
This is your training day. This is your training day. This is your training day. This is your training day.
Yo, this is tight.
Yo, somebody just needs to mute their mic. That's all.
This is your training day.
Let me mute mine. I'm gonna mute my mic too.
Lately I'm thinking that I wanna be 5-0, not to be a pig, just to keep my people in the know. I hear the devil screaming, go back to Africa, but where would I go? It's like they trying to start a massacre. Case in point, we helped build this motherfucker. It's all a nigga know, it's where I get my bread and butter, so I gotta stay in the loop. Put on the badge and the gun in case they bring in the troops. Nowhere to run. Camping by the door like a spook. Jig with the service pistol as I service the youth. Serving alt-right goons when they spring up a noose. FEMA camps popping up, replacing Walmart is true. So give me freedom or death. It's like we got nothing left. Time to fight them to the last man, to my last breath. Eric Gardner. I'm not a rainbow-headed tattletale, got love for my hood. I'm just an able-bodied black male. This is nigga, let's play cops to put a stop to all this racist madness. Give them a dose of they own while wearing badges. Cause last time I checked, punk, we pay your salary. And I can see the fear in your heart. You're moving cowardly. A nigga can't breathe with your weight on his neck. We bear the weight of the world, and yet still I'm a threat. Super predator. So you choke us half to death. Then you wonder why the average cop don't get respect. These pigs are puncher. Have you slurring like a mumble rapper. Hit a licking out for Retta, that's a humble cracker. See, I got this complex against cops that flex. Nerdy pencil pushing bullies that just put on a vest. They got these vigilante mobs playing honorary deputy. Chasing down a mod while he's jogging, may he rest in peace. See, my solution was apply to the academy. But still I gotta roll with my tech against brutality. Let's play. This is your friend. It's gonna be a close casket, homie.
Hunger is something way too many kids and families struggle with. I was one of those kids. Growing up, my mom did everything she could to help keep food on our table, but she couldn't have done it without the support of our community. That's why Walmart's Fight Hunger Spark Change program means so much to me.
Yo, I really appreciate you playing the song. And like I say, working on the music was therapeutic for me, man.
Yo,
And
that was hard. That was hard, bro.
hey, appreciate it, man. That's a song that I'm thinking I'm probably gonna try to push as a single at some point. So what I'm gonna do is just, leave the music there for people to stream and, just start doing the groundwork. The way I look at it is the truth never gets old. Hopefully
Yeah.
there's no more of these shootings, and this case can, shift the trajectory of things. But I wrote that at the time, literally last year, when I was in pain of everything that was going on. And that's what God gave me, and that's what I put down,
Yeah. Wow, man. You got some talent. You got fans in the chat section too, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna says no disrespect after looking at all these police brother, it comes right down to the person's failed to comply. Hey, okay, people are entitled to their opinion, but you know what, bro? That's why they have handcuffs. That's why they have tasers. Unless somebody has a gun pointed at you and is threatening your life, I've seen plenty of citizens of all different color hues not only be non-compliant but steal police cars, spit on cops. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Act like it's Royal Rumble in this motherfucker, man. Like they hit the referee, and they still don't shoot them. So bottom line is, and this is what it boils down to, it's not about my life. It's about the future of your children and nieces and nephews. I don't want them to grow up in a world where if they're reaching for their wallet, there's going to be a whole bunch of trolls and white supremacist sympathizers that'll try to justify them losing their life when they're
Yeah.
just trying to like make a living and go home safely. Because I'd say 85% of the citizens in America, white, black, blue, green, purple, are hardworking, honest people, man. And I'm not responsible for what the media projects. I'm only responsible for my own behavior. And it's not even heartbreaking. That's why I do the music. You dig what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
literally why I do the music. because I got tired of arguing with these trolls. So that's why I wrote a song called Modern Day Slave on my first album. And like you said, economic freedom. I
Yeah.
wrote that. What I did was I just, being somebody that's been a student, of conscious thought and just being a man at my age now, I just felt like, okay, you know what? Let me articulate my arguments without coming across as the angry black man. And it worked because there's people of all different races and nationalities that somebody might say, hey man, I'm not gonna play your song at the club to get lit before the club. But when you're by yourself and your bills are piled up and you're dealing with real issues, you know what I'm saying? You might want to
Yep.
light one up and listen. And you're gonna feel encouraged. At least that's what I hope. That's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to my newer album that just dropped, I really haven't let too many people hear those songs. I was just working on them, off and on for the last year or so. And then I just decided 2 weeks ago, I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop being a perfectionist. I'm just gonna drop this, close out this little saga, right? With these three
Yeah.
albums and just start pushing it because you know what I'm saying? Depending on who you talk to, man, people are gonna tell you something's whack or something's not good. But like how you're telling me, you're feeling it. You dig what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I didn't twist your arm, so that it's
No,
good to get that kind of feedback because it gives me the confidence to keep sharing. You know what I'm
yeah, that shit is hot. And what you I don't know who still has them echo.
I don't know. I'm obviously I'm talking to you on my mic, but
Yeah. So it's not, I don't think it was you. But I think you hit the nail right on the head when you said like perfectionism. Like the just get the product out there because what you have here is actual hip hop. Hold on, was all aboard. Um what you have here is actual hip hop, man. It's not no mumble rap. I can't even relate to the hip hop that's out there because there's nothing there, nothing of substance. But what you have there, something of substance,
right,
and my head was bobbing to that shit. So
right.
like,
And I wanted it to be reflective of my age because I figured, because honestly, I had, like I
mhm.
told you, man, I sing and I rap. I gave up all of that. I mean, literally for like 10 years straight, I was done with it. I'm like, man, once I have a mortgage and I got a family and other stuff, I was like, man, you sell your MPC. I don't even have a
Yeah.
studio. I get rid of all of that. But when
Oh,
all
okay.
of this stuff started happening with the police brutality is like, and not just police brutality, just all the division. And I felt like there was just a demonic force operating. And like
Yeah.
how you're saying, instead of just being the old head criticizing the younger generation, I said, well, why don't I create an alternative? Now, if it sounds corny or if it sounds like, Fat Albert and his gang beating on trash cans lids, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, yo, son, you need to like dead it. I'm like, okay, man, I'll get back on the Xbox, no harm, no foul. I've
Yeah.
always, been a writer and I've done music for a while, but it doesn't even matter about what I've done in the past and who I work with or, how many times you make it to the NBA finals and you don't get the ring. At the end of the day, it's like now we're empowered to be entrepreneurs. So I
Yes.
figure like for me, I said I carved the lane for myself. I got 3 albums. So like now in your spare time, it would be a request, not a demand. Hey man, stream those albums, man. It's helping me. And then if you're really feeling the music, you're gonna share it with other people, and then I can get feedback from people, and it'll
Yes,
help
sir.
me moving forward. But
Yeah.
it definitely was a laboring process. I'm not gonna say everything on there's platinum, but there's certain songs that I think are near and dear to me, and
Your
I would
mic,
do that
your mic is muffled. Your mic's muffled.
I said there's certain songs that are
There you
near
go.
and dear to me.
Yeah.
That I would like to get feedback from you at some point, but I don't want to deviate from your show. With the topic that you're talking about. So I want to
Yeah.
allow
Yeah.
everyone else to chime in.
As a matter of fact, we're starting a movement called Uppity Knickers. Basically,
Right,
what phonetically what it sounds like, you know what it sounds like, but
right,
it's spelled knickers, like underwear, right?
right,
Uppity Knickers.
right,
Basically, we refuse to. We've worked way too hard to stay in our place. If you go through when you have the time after the stream, right?
right,
There's a video on my channel where I kind of like it's kind of like a trailer or a commercial for Uppity Knickers. It will tell you everything you need to know. It's really simple that black and brown people, my people, across the melanated diaspora or
right,
diaspora,
right,
you're all my people, and I want us to actually not stay in our place anymore. You understand? Because
Right.
what they want, and what couldn't make them more thrilled is to see us in our place, whatever place in their head that they had for us. So, in order to do that, that's why I liked your slogan, economic freedom. In order to do that, we have to go after the bag. We have to basically mobilize our talent. Okay, we have to mobilize our talent. All the entrepreneurs, if you're trying to start a hair care product line, if you're trying to start a fashion design line, if you're a rapper or a singer or performer or actor, movie director, comic book creator, whatever it is you are, we can actually have your talent displayed on the channel. I bought a domain name. I'm starting with the website. We have a lot of
Right.
things in motion so we can have
Right.
Uppity Knickers up and running. And I'd like for the next Uppity Knickers, if you'd swing by, it's every Thursday. If you'd swing
Okay.
by, you could chop it up. You could play your music on there, and anybody that comes on there, hey, my audience is your audience. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right. Nah,
yeah,
man, each one teach one. That's how we grow. And I'm gonna tell you
yeah,
something that I plan on doing in addition to buying, like Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram. I plan on just going old school, bro. Getting 20,000, 10,000 flyers, hit
yeah,
up Houston, I mean, be like a politician, man. Get on the
yeah.
ground, obviously protect yourself from COVID, but you got to kiss babies and shake hands, man. You can't be afraid of the people because that's what the corporate structure wants. They want you to think that they offer you the escalator, but you could always
Hmm.
take the stairs and still
Yep,
get there.
and still
Because
get there.
because let me tell you, if 10,000 or 20,000 people rock with what you're doing, you don't have to have, a million followers to be effective and for your base to grow. So that's kind of what I
No,
want to
you
happen, is
don't.
just for the music to grow organically. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Give me a second. I have to address, the other panelists. All aboard.
Okay.
I
All
want to
aboard. How
say,
you doing?
that when the escalator, like if there's an emergency, they always tell you skip the elevator, skip the escalator, and take the stairs. So I'm right with
Yeah,
you there, airmen. Fly high. Your music is fire.
yep.
Like that was really really dope. And
Thank you.
shout out to um shout out to one second. I have his name. I have to shout him out. You might know who he is. You might not. Xavier Johnson. I
Okay.
think it's anyway. He was in Dallas, and he was a military person. He actually stood up for his oath. He fought terrorists, domestic and foreign, and he was in Dallas, and that was like the first time since um the Hope Project, which I believe was in Philadelphia, where an American was bombed on
What?
American soil. So yeah, they sent a bomb after him because he did something. I don't know. I don't want to get your trouble in any. I mean, your
You
channel in
talking
any.
about Micah Johnson?
Mike Johnson.
Oh, that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay,
Johnson.
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right,
I
all
don't
right.
want to get your channel in
Well,
any.
news is news. So go ahead.
Well, the news is he took his oath seriously, and
Okay.
salute to him because you know he a lot of people forgot about him, but I respect what he did because he stood up for his oath. He was sick of people being terrorized, and unfortunately, he chose to do it that way and sacrifice his own life. But
Yeah.
that made history. That was the first time that an American has been bombed on U.S. soil, and I think that's wrong. They should have taken to trial like they do
Yeah.
everything else.
That was a first for a lot of things, including the use of a robot.
A robot, because he would
Yeah,
have
they
had no
weaponized it.
idea. He would have had no
Hmm.
idea that they were sending a bomb in to kill him. Maybe he would have decided to turn himself in. You
Yo,
know?
are you talking about that dude that shot up the downtown?
Yeah,
Downtown Dallas or something like that,
I
Dallas.
was
right?
actually there. I was there.
He
Oh
really.
wow.
Tell me what your opinion is.
Yeah.
Tell me
So
first. I
I
mean,
was I was I was working out at this Gold's Gym in downtown as well as uptown Dallas, and uh, we got a notification that there was a shooter. There was an active shooter. In fact, Wow, that's crazy that you bring this up. I have a friend. He's in the army, and he's in the army, the National Guard. He was actually one of the police officers that responded to that situation. Like, there's a clip of the officers trying to get into the area where he was, and my friend is actually one of those officers. So he's like on TV for like 10 seconds, getting ready to try to breach the area. That's crazy. Yeah, I was there. They told us that there was an active shooter, and they locked down the gym. We had to stay in the gym until the situation was resolved.
Well,
So I
I'm
was like
sorry.
literally 2 blocks away
I
from
have
the.
two
Go
of my
ahead.
brothers are police officers, and no, I don't advocate anyone getting killed. But that goes to show you there's mental illness. It's real, and he was fed up, and that was another part of catapulting the Black Lives Matter movement into being a real thing. And I'm not saying Black Lives Matter like as a movement, because I don't agree with everything that that corporation does. But what I'm saying is he felt strongly in his heart that he wanted to protect his oath. And I can't fault people that want to protect their oath. And he didn't target citizens. Unlike a lot of these cowards that go into FedEx and school buildings and things like that, you know, that's what he did.
Well, look, this is how I feel about that situation, and I'm gonna try to, you know, channel my thoughts and be respectful to the algorithm. I'll just say this: this brother, like many other veterans, and unfortunately, at that time, I don't think it necessarily was a mental lapse. More or less, he just got frustrated because before that happened, there was already a string of shootings from Mike Brown to,
Mhm.
you can name it. So I think he just said, look, you need to meet force and with force. Now, temporarily, the backlash was heavy because I believe that kind of contributed to Philando Castillo and even the current climate that we have now, where some of these officers will shoot first because they
I
know
don't
deep
think
in their
so.
heart. Look, no, what I'm saying is they know deep in their heart that they're doing wrong. Even the good cops who don't do anything, right, to stop the bad cops, because they say, "Man, you're making the block hot. You're making people feel like they got to defend themselves." But this is what they should know: only 10% of the population are actually warriors in any sector. Micah was a warrior. I'm a
Yeah.
warrior. And see, what was about to happen was with this George Floyd thing, they backed everybody's back against the wall. When now you're about to have black veterans, street dudes, you're about to have a bunch of Micah Johnson. So his sacrifice was not in vain. What it did is it put the United States government on alert. That's why when Trump got elected, what was the first thing that what is that guy? His name, that guy from Alabama that they made Attorney General. Was it Jeff Sessions? He said the number one threat to America is black identity extremists. That was the first time I ever heard them use that term. I
Mm.
don't see Michael Johnson as a terrorist. I didn't
Yeah.
see Cosmos, the other brother, because they were just saying, look, man, somebody needs to do something to set the tone to let them know like this is not going to always just be unilateral, like that we can't defend ourselves.
Mhm.
And I think that just naturally, like right now, that's what they knew. They knew it, man. They knew it. They avoided a ticking time bomb, because if they would have let Chauvin off, and then you would have had some of these right wing crazy nuts try to pull a Cal Rittenhouse and try to patrol the streets, it just would have got real ugly. And I'm gonna be
But
honest.
but listen,
Go ahead.
that I think Micah Johnson also contributed to like the new Black Panther Party. There's another group, I think it's called ain't they're called like Not Fucking Around or something like that.
Right,
In fact,
NFA.
right,
Yes. So there that I think that sort of set the stage for that as well, because black people are not helpless. Black people are forgiving and good, decent people, you know. But
right,
black people, we carry, and we're not afraid. Like, we're the ones that fight the wars. Not me, forgive me, Lord. I'm not a military person, but I respect it. But our children, our fathers, we're the ones that are our families are fighting these wars, right? They put us on the front lines, right? So
Right.
it's either respect us, to me, either respect us, or in the future, people are not going to just turn the other cheek. In my
Well, you
opinion, they had
both
no
of you
choice but to give us that verdict.
guys brought up something very telling. I want to say, um, as far as the robots are concerned, because I heard somebody mention that earlier. I feel like if you pay attention to Boston Dynamics and some of these other companies that are making these robots and they claim they're not going to have military uses, I'm like, get out of here. They are going to have military uses. I think that's the end game. That with this whole police thingy, they're going to use this as an excuse to start using artificial intelligence like they use in China to
Hmm.
survey everyone, to have drones.
Yep.
Literally will have RoboCop, like a humanoid-like robot
Mhm.
that will be assisting a human, and then you can't say the robots are racist, even
Well, they
though they
just put a
programmed that
dog in
thing.
New York City, a
Oh
robot
yeah, and
dog.
they're
A
using the
robot
dog.
dog,
They're
yeah.
using it. Yeah, they're already using that spot dog. So that's what I'm saying. But going back to what you were saying, you don't have to feel sorry for not being like a warrior, because this is the thing. Even within the military, I'm telling you, say if we have 3 million soldiers, and that's even including reserves, only 10 to 30% of those soldiers are actually involved in combat actions. The
Mm,
majority is support. And what I'm saying is these people who colonized the globe, they understood this. That's why when they were able to defeat the natives because of tribalism, right? And they knew that if they took out the warrior class in each of those tribes, the vast majority of people, just the way we're wired, man, that's why it makes us sick to the stomach to see uh, brother George Floyd murdered the way he was. If
yes.
you have any type of consciousness, it doesn't make you a weak person. It's just that's the way God built us. That man, we're okay. We'll get a little squeamish killing an animal, but another human being who looks like us, we're not really supposed to do that. That's supposed there's that's why people have to be trained, or there's some people that are born with that genetic disposition where they're like, look, I can do a righteous kill, right? That's
Mm.
why, like, in other words, I'm not going to be a mass murderer, but it's like if there's somebody who's a terroristic threat, and you have, isn't it ironic that when it comes to African Americans, our population maybe is like, I want to say like 15 or 30%. And if you take like 10% of that, it's around the 3 million or so that are incarcerated. See, that's the warrior class. That's why they try to like profile kids early, that they quote unquote try to label, because anything you label, you can control. Oh, you got ADHD. Oh, you're a behavior problem. Oh, you got a
Mhm.
personality
That's a
disorder.
good point.
You need to be on some drugs. And it's really, it could be that the approach that the teacher's using is not engaging the kids. They're not giving them enough attention. And then of course the family structure may not be right because kids don't come with instructions. And then on top of that, people don't teach you the unwritten rules of the system. Nobody teaches you how to understand
And
credit.
also their
Nobody
children
teaches you about
get held
generational wealth.
to
Go
their
ahead.
children the same behavior. If their children do it, it's not seen as criminal. So
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. You got to teach your kids the unwritten rule. But I think this verdict today starts to shift or crack open the door that, even, let's just say, even if white people don't get on code, which I do believe there are good white people who, when I say good, meaning there are people who got in touch with their empathy and their human side, and they knew what was right. And I believe those people put enough pressure on the bad apples to say, look, what you guys are doing wrong. I don't want my business burned down. I don't want my family members to get hurt, because that's basically what was going to happen. It was going to be Rodney King to the 10th or the 100th power, because anybody, in other words, anybody running their mouth full of Trump juice, they were probably going to get smacked up tonight if that verdict
listen,
went
listen.
went a different way.
Someone spoke earlier, the first caller. Um, Everyone has their moment, right? When they just realize, like, because I was trying to say on the other call that I didn't really realize how deep these things went. My moment was when Trayvon Martin was killed, right? Because at
Right,
that time I was in the circle of a lot of white people, right? And I'm not saying all white people, of course, right? I'm not saying
right.
that. I hate that I have to put a disclaimer, but what I'm saying is there was a guy that I was engaged to, actually, for what it's worth. It was, anyway, he was a firefighter, a white guy from Massachusetts, right? That's people don't realize how racist the Northeast is. It is extremely racist.
Oh yeah.
People think it's the South only. No, it's not. There's so much racism and segregation in New York, Jersey. Like that's, I mean, it's like just it's
Hold up,
instilled.
pause. But you see how a lot of those races gravitate to government and state jobs, but they're always talking about people milking the
Oh,
government
and
and
they
they
get
want
all the
small
welfare.
government.
They get all the welfare, all the benefits. Their family benefited from all of the VA loans to get the
Yeah.
housing. All of it. Like but
They know all the shortcuts and the loopholes with Social Security, with everything. But it's see, here's the good thing. When they say there's an abuse in the system, what that
it's
means is
them.
there's too many people of color taking advantage of some of those
And it's
benefits, which is why
barely
I
that
love the
many. It's
stimulus.
barely that many because we're the minority. So you're not
Right.
really competing with the minority, sweetie. You're competing with each other. They don't even know who they're competing with. But I was engaged to this guy. It was during like the whole Trayvon Martin thing, right? And he's Italian. I was speaking with him, and I just assumed he had the same feeling as me that it was wrong that Trayvon was killed. He was a child. It was completely wrong. There's no way to like. I couldn't fathom someone having a different idea, right?
Right.
And he says to me, Trayvon was a thug, and it
Hello.
shocked me. And I said, why
All
would
aboard. I think it's either you've been muted or I've been yanked off my own stream yet again.
you can't hear me?
Can anyone else hear me?
I hear
I can
you.
Cornell
hear you.
Brown, can you hear me?
I can hear
Robbie
you.
Blue, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All aboard, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I'm probably yanked off my own stream.
Sheesh.
That's amazing.
Oh man.
I guess I'll
That's
wait.
the government right there. No, I'm joking. But he anyway, he told me he was a thug and I asked him why. He said because he smoked weed, he skipped school. And it was shocking because this man himself smokes weed. His son smoked weed. He really got kicked off his own stream.
That's crazy. But you know, the irony of that statement is they'll be the first ones to tell you all lives matter. So whenever they say that to me, I'm like, well, then if all lives matter, that doesn't mean we sit there and we decide whose life doesn't. That means thugs'
Right.
lives matter. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Single
It's
parent
such a
mothers'
simple
lives matter,
concept.
whoever, you know?
Such a
Yes,
simple
they should be the loudest ones out here. They should be out here standing up for everybody. I should see all lives matter at the Stop Asian Hate thing.
I mean, and that's another thing, the Asian hate. Asian hate. Black people don't hate Asians, and that's like a narrative they're trying to push. I've never heard of that being a
Yeah,
thing.
that's all.
In fact, we show the most love to Asians.
They get all our money.
Yeah, we show the most love to them. We're the one watching all these kung fu movies, getting all this Chinese food, getting all the hair
Bruce
from
Leroy.
their hair. Yeah.
They have a symbiotic relationship with us economically because
Mhm.
especially with the sisters with the nails and the hair. And then on top of that, even back home when I go to Atlanta, man, they own wing shops and they even own soul
Well,
food
listen,
restaurants.
black
You know
people
what I'm
love
saying?
Asian, like the fried chicken. Like they're the only ones that probably can do some fried chicken in a way that black people really fuck with.
Right.
Let's be real.
Well, what it is
That
we
fried
fuck with
rice.
the pricing. We fuck with the pricing, and that's why you'll see them at the flea markets too. Which is why I'm
Yeah.
like, if black people had a problem with you like that, see what it is white supremacists want to try to equate black people defending themselves from white
Right.
supremacy as discrimination. Oh, you're
Yeah.
anti-white. No, I'm anti-white discrimination. And like one rebuttal that I love is when they say, "I'm tired of hearing about racism." You know what I say? Yeah, and
Oh,
I'm
that's so
tired of
nice.
experiencing it.
That's so nice. Imagine having the luxury to just be able to just be done with the conversation, and you don't even have to deal with it anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it.
Nah, but you know who's the silent witness? It's kind of like yourself.
Asians.
You know, you being in an interracial relationship with someone.
No, I'm
I
not.
can't.
No, don't forgive me for that. That was like a one and done. I'm good on
No,
that.
no. It was. It segues into a point that I'm making because you're about to shine light on the group. That's why do you think there's look the gender divide right now is between white men and white women. I don't see why people of color are falling for that junk. And the main reason why is I can't tell you how many white women from the time I was in the military up to now, even recent, There'll be women who disclose horror stories of how they grew up with fathers that were racist, that would
Mhm.
say vile stuff. Like they are the silent, like they were the first body cams, basically. They saw all of the BS. They had to deal with the male chauvinism and getting abused and forced to do sexual acts and all of that against their will. They've dealt with all of that, and when you have male chauvinism, insecurity, and racism, it just makes the perfect internet troll.
But
That's
listen,
like
here's another thing.
uh,
The same police officers who are kicking our ass, they're going home and beating them too. They
oh, of
know.
Well,
course.
that's where I wanted to actually go. Where the same kind of person who is bigoted towards other people. Well, I mean, they're gonna turn that onto women as well. When
Right.
when that violent cop goes home, guess who he's gonna turn the violence towards? His wife and his children.
Wife and his
Because it's
children and his
about
dog.
dominance.
You
Because it's
know,
about dominance, feeling dominant.
you. I guarantee you, Derek Chauvin beat that woman he was married to. He was married to an Asian woman.
Mhm.
I
Oh
guarantee
yeah.
you, she divorced him the first chance she got. Now, some people could say it could have been for economic reasons, but I guarantee you, a man doesn't actually just put his knee and murder someone on camera, right? Unless he's been a violent person. He had 19 disciplinary reports against him. He's
Right.
actually shot people, and I believe he killed another person, but it was found to be justified. But he
But you know
definitely
what's
paralyzed
sick
someone.
though? In some Asian cultures and even in the Hispanic
Oh, I
culture and even in African American culture, sometimes because we want to ally ourselves with what we perceive to be strength because of how we get indoctrinated and it's like little kids even by age 6 kind of understand the class system. It's kind of sad. They understand the difference between white and black and all that. And women, I think, get bombarded and attacked with all these images that try to attack their self-esteem and self-worth and make them feel like their hair has to be different, their body, has to be different, and when every other woman on the planet is like copying you, but the crazy thing is right, is some of these women will tolerate the abuse just because they want to have
No,
a child that's going to look white. Like,
and
do you
this
realize in Asia they have skin whitening creams? It's crazy.
they do, and it translates to the Caribbean, the Asian countries, Africa. But here's the thing: a lot of white men they really prefer a very dark skinned black woman, and also the white women they prefer a very dark skinned black man. It's like almost like fetishism, like um this isn't
Or it could just be their preference. Let's be
it
honest.
could be it could just be their preference, but where it differs is when they're calling you the N word and you know
That's what makes it a fetish. Because somebody
Yeah.
I love, well, okay, correction. I have to say this. There's times, and my girl has even told me, she said, "Man, Bobby, what you said sounded racist as hell." Because I could be in traffic, right, and just say a Mexican dude cut me off, and I could say
Yeah.
something fucked up, and she'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you said that." I said, "You know what? You're right. I don't know where that came from. I shouldn't have said that, right? But I know how I meant it, just out of frustration, but it still wasn't right." But let's put it to you this way. I don't go around with that in my mind 24/7, or I'd never be like having sex with her and want to like call her something derogatory. Like there's some black women that do slave play with some of these white
no,
dudes, and
and
they
there's
have
the
them
Yeah.
black
feeling
black
Yeah.
they have
That's
these.
a whole other thing, though.
that's
I
a
don't
whole
think that. Listen, I don't think that's on the part of the guy who wants to, demean them, use a whip and all that stuff. That goes towards the girl or the
Right.
guy who
That's what
who,
I'm
who
saying.
wants to be called. Yeah, that's a whole other man.
um
That
I
joint is
think
crazy.
back during slavery, a lot of people forget that it wasn't just black women in that were being used for sex, right? It wasn't.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
part of all of this hatred is the fear of black men taking their women. That's been
yeah,
like that's the basis of a lot of this hatred, right? It's
Yeah.
you you're an in lover or
yeah.
like that's a big part of it. That's why they want to kill a lot of black men, and that's like that's I don't know. It's like ingrained in them, right? Um, like they during slavery, it wasn't just black women being raped; it was black men being raped by women, the white women as well. right?
Right.
Because that's a big part
And black men being raped by men. They
but that's
practice.
Oh
another
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
This guy Tariq Nasheed has something called Buck Breaking. It's a documentary that's going to cover
Yep.
that. I'm not a huge fan of him all the time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he has his ups and downs and positives and negatives, pros and cons and stuff like that. But
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was something that needs to be covered because we forget the interweaving dynamics of bigotry, which intersect, across gender and even sexuality lines, dealing with a lot of these oppressive systems.
With
It's not
white
only. I'm
supremacy,
sorry, God.
no, I'm sorry. With white
No, no,
supremacy,
it's supposed to.
a lot
Yeah,
of
it's not.
sexuality is deeply entwined in all of that.
Yeah, you know. How many of you guys have seen the recent? I mean, I'm a big cinephile. Anybody here like movies, streaming shows, and stuff like that?
Oh, bro, I try to when I can. I got a movie theater in my house, so that should tell you something.
Oh yeah, yeah, cool. Because I'm loving. Look, one of the things that's it's kind of like a segue into another topic, right? Though it's slightly still relevant because this if we're just sitting here talking about this stuff all night, it's gonna drag our spirits down because this stuff is too heavy.
Let's get it out. Let's get over it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So let's segue into like a slight segue, right? So I'm watching a lot of this stuff, and I'm looking to get DVD collections of all this new recent stint of black. I call it Black Universe shows, where you have stuff like. Have you guys seen Lovecraft Country? Right, that series.
No, I haven't. But now that you've told me, let me know. Is it on Netflix? Is it on HBO Max? I'm gonna check it out.
HBO Max. HBO
Okay.
Max.
All right, I'm gonna check
I've
it
There
seen
out.
a
was
few episodes.
hold on. There's another one. It's called. Oh wow, them. All right, you guys saw Us by Jordan Peele.
Right.
Right.
I thought them was a sequel, which is a totally missed opportunity. I hate when directors become artists. Yeah, they become artists. Yeah, instead of like doing
Right.
something natural, like okay, let me do a sequel to this fire ass movie I just dropped. They're like,
Right.
no, it was a one of, and it's an art. Due to my artistic integrity, I'm not gonna make any sequels in order to be
Yeah.
commercialized. Blah 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 blah. No, dude, make a sequel because
Right.
somebody came out with them, and that shit was hot. That shit was
Yeah, I
hot.
saw a couple of episodes of it. It got a
Yeah,
little. It was kind of over the all around the place a little bit. But the
yeah.
one thing I like about it when they make shows like that, it shows you that they understand the psychology. You know what I mean?
Mm,
They
yeah.
understand the psychology of how to harass you, all these strategies. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. When you look at all the abuse, some of the forms of torture, lynching, the whole nine, not even back in slavery. I'm just talking about in the in the Jim Crow era. Some of those
Mhm.
postcards that they have of the lynchings and some of the stories that I've heard, dude. That's why fast forward to like the early 2000s, I'll share a short story with you. When I was in the military,
Mhm.
there was this guy. I'm gonna just say his name was Solomon, right? And he was a guy that was from South America, but he was black, and he had been in the military about 10 years, and he started dating this white girl. She was about like 19, 20, right?
Yeah.
She was from Iowa. To make a long story short, they dated for
Oh, your
six.
mic's muted. Your mic's
Can you hear me? Can you
muffled.
hear
Yeah.
me?
Oh, now it's better. All right.
Look, for
Your mic
six
was
to eight
muffled.
months, for 6 or 8 months they were dating. She gets pregnant. They go with her. He goes with her to visit her family, right? Her
Yeah.
family is so phony nice to him. He doesn't understand what's going on. Like they don't say anything. They don't hint that there's a problem. Later on, that girl's father pulls her aside and says, "Look, if you don't have an abortion, I'm going to disown you." So,
Wow.
so what ended up happening was this girl caved into the pressure of her family. She had an abortion. She broke up with him. So guess what? This guy was heartbroken. I mean, he started developing a drinking problem because he really wanted to have a family with this girl, right? But she
Yeah.
was, she caved into her family, plus she was kind of young. So here's the thing. This is the crazy thing that happens now. Mind you, this guy been in the military 10 years. I saw a man's 10-year career get ruined in 6 months. because what happened following was a few months later, they went their separate ways. They started to hook up again, but this time it was just sex for him, right?
Mm.
She wanted to have a relationship with him, and he basically told her, "Look, man, you had something to the effect, allegedly, like you had this abortion, so man, you gonna obviously your family means more to you, so we can never be anything again." She screams rape, and what's
Yeah.
crazy is all the white supremacists in my unit, they knew that they were a couple. It would be like the equivalent of like Kim Kardashian allegedly saying Kanye West sexually abused you. Be like, man, everybody's seen y'all together everywhere. What are you talking about? Here's the thing, bro. She stayed on code, waited until he got up to trial, and he cut a plea deal where he got a dishonorable discharge. Otherwise, they would have taken it to trial. They stripped him of all his rank. It was like watching Christ get stripped down. Like this brother had so much
Wow.
charisma.
That's a
He
stretch.
had a bright future ahead of himself. And you know what? He still had a bright ivory smile going through it. That's something about our people. That he was being very spiritual. But me personally, I think I would have cracked open a can of something like Stone Cold on her. But
Mm.
this guy, in the end, man, they destroyed her career. And you know what this broad had the nerve to say to me? She was like, Bobby, can you tell Solomon that I'm sorry? And then I
Oh
got mad. I said,
God.
sorry for what? She just started crying and just said, never mind.
Was she military?
It's like,
Huh?
motherfucker, if you don't get
Yeah, she was
the
military. See, that's what I'm saying. That Me Too stuff started in the military first before it came to the civilian world. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because
They
actually, a lot of black men, that was the first time, like going overseas and stuff like that, and being like that was the first time they were allowed to actually be with a woman outside of their race.
right.
It's being in the military. That was the first time, and that brings me to something I was going to mention with with Ireland, right? It was illegal. Like there were a lot of babies. There's a lot of mixed babies in Ireland. They're grown now, right? They're older people now, but they were orphans because military men would go there, have babies with these women, have relationships with them, but then the women would have to get rid of the babies. They would have to give them up,
Wow.
because they couldn't just have a black baby.
Oh wow.
So that's interesting.
There's a girl on Falcon and Winter Soldier that looked like a Blyrish. She looks Blyrish.
So what?
You got black Irish. She looked Blyrish, yo. You guys seen her on Falcon and Winter Soldier? There's a girl, and she's pretty too. She's pretty. She got all
I
freckled.
gotta
She's
take
all
the time.
freckled up.
I gotta take the time to check that show out.
Yeah, it's decent, and that's another show that I love. Shows that piss off the Hispanoteps and the Snowteps, because like they keep saying that black people are overrepresented on TV and streaming series and movies and stuff like that. They're like, you guys are only about 13% of the population. Why are you all over TV and movies, right? So because one, we look good, and two,
we're
we're super
talented.
talented. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And
But
And
like,
also three, a lot of Hispanics will pull a like Charlie Sheen and they'll pretend that they're white.
yeah, so it's
Um,
probably even
See?
more of us who are
oh,
on TV. Yeah, but the thing is though, like Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing though,
that's funny.
the Hispanics who are saying this, they don't feel some type of way that in their home countries, like with the Telemundo and all that stuff, those actors are all Anglo,
Hey,
and yeah,
like they were speaking about BET earlier, right? No one complains about Telemundo. No one
yeah,
complains. Like
hmm
literally, no one complains. They have like everyone has the right to be represented and have a network.
yep.
Why is BET so like threatening? First of all,
Well,
nobody really watches it. But why is
look,
it
man,
threatening?
it's threatening. Whenever we get some shine, it's threatening. I mean, look how much hatred they have for Kerry Washington. Remember that show Scandal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how much. Come on, man. Look how much hate, and I could never understand the hate where they kept. And some of it came from black men, where they call it. They're like, oh, it's glorified bedwinching, right?
Right.
But the real hatred came from like white women. We have to remember that the white
Yeah.
woman is the number
Oh,
one consumer group in
the white
America.
woman The white
Yeah.
woman is the cornerstone of white supremacy. Without the white woman, there would be no white supremacy.
No, yeah.
Think about it. The white woman, they've done all of this in the name of the white woman.
Right, to protect the
no white
integrity of
woman.
the white woman. Yeah.
You know that she's often the catalyst and reason
Oh,
why some of this stuff is.
that's why
Yeah.
they're conquering the world. They got to get this land, this money. They got to get this stuff so they can get their white woman. Now, secretly, they want the black woman, right? But,
Yeah.
but this white woman, she's the reason a lot of people have been lynched. Oh, her virtue, has been stolen because a little black boy whistled at her. Let's kill
Yeah.
her. Like,
Yo, you know that woman is still out there somewhere, and then all the Bloods and
Carolyn
Crips.
Bryant.
Yeah, Carolyn Bryant. She's still out there living her best life.
Oh my
Like
God.
nobody. Yo.
She should try right now today, and she should be given the death penalty, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't
I mean that.
Something. She should be
I
tried
don't see
right
how
now
that woman
today.
could live with herself.
Well, she can obviously, and she is so good with living with herself that she had a whole interview where she told a novelist. There's a novelist who interviewed her, and then she told the novelist, "Yeah, I lied about it. Yeah,
And she
well, that boy." And
trial.
yo, but she but she listen. She told this novelist, "Yeah, we really shouldn't have done that." And then we're like, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, the reason why we shouldn't have done that is, that boy killing him ruined all of our lives."
Oh my God. I would
Motherfucker, what?
Personally. I don't care if she's 80 something. She deserves it. Like,
Let me see.
evil bitch. I'm sorry.
Somebody, I don't know who. I'm not gonna dox them by their personal names, but since someone hit that PayPal, thank you very much. Shout out to you. If you don't mind me, using the name that showed up on PayPal, you can go ahead and let me know in the comment section. I'll give you a proper shout out. But in the interest of not doxing you and keeping your anonymity, just shout out to you, outright for now. Good looking out. But yeah, guys, please continue.
That's just how you
Hello?
know.
Oh no, did I get?
There's no real justice.
No, what's wrong with my?
Under Obama.
What's wrong with my volume?
I don't know.
I need better connections, guys. I got a struggle connection.
If there were real
I
justice,
expect any minute now the white supremacists to pull me off of this, pull me off the stream, and then I'll hop back on. Because can you guys hear me? Who can hear me?
Yeah, I can
hear you.
Can you hear us?
I don't think anyone can hear me.
Okay.
But I do think the broadcast is still recording. So while we're doing that, let me see. Adore me, Morena Reyes. Wow, I hear no one. Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Can you?
Okay, when I come back on, we'll do that.
If there were real
Meanwhile,
justice, she would be in.
let me see what's up.
Everyone knows that she was the reason that kid got killed.
I mean, the fact that you have. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God the sound came back on. All right, can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we could hear you. I never stopped.
All right, so how much did you guys hear from me speaking? Did you guys hear the shout out? Someone hit the PayPal, so I wanted to shout them out properly. But it was a private name and the PayPal receipt, so I didn't want to blow anyone's anonymity or anything like that. Okay, Smoothie said that you guys can hear me. Well, just a baseline shout out to whoever did that, and if you want a proper shout out and you don't mind your name being spoken, you can drop, your name, and I'll give you a proper shout out. All right, yeah, but guys, continue. Unless I'm muted again or my sound is messed up again.
Nah, you good.
Let's troll them, guys. Act like you
can. Anyone hear me?
Yep.
Is it just me and you, Cornell Brown? Robbie, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
How about all aboard? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
No, she can't hear me.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess you guys continue. What were you saying, Cornell? Were you saying something?
Yeah, I was saying like the fact that you still have white supremacists going up to Emmett Till's memorial and shooting it up and stuff, saying that he's responsible for the civil rights movement and that ruined their freedom and stuff. I mean, it's telling of the kind of mentality that's very much still alive and very present. So it's no surprise when I go online and I'll see these people saying the most heinous and despicable things about black people being murdered or black people in general. We're in America. That's been the environment here for centuries now.
The only difference is, I'd say
Yeah.
last.
Go ahead. Continue. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Hello?
Oh no.
Can you hear me?
Oh, what's wrong with my connection? Can you hear me, Cornell?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I thought. Hold on. I was also thinking about how all our contributions to this country, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? Where they realize that we've contributed stuff to this country, but at the same time they don't want to. Oh, bro, Sundown, my sound is terrible. Can you is there any echoes or anything like that, Sundown? Can you hear me? All right, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. Cornell, go ahead and entertain the masses with your smooth baritone voice. When I come back, I'm gonna reboot and come back. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, economic freedom. What were you saying?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, all I was basically saying was, since Columbine, before Columbine, I never really heard about mass school shootings and all of that and violence from young people. And it seems like in the last 10 years, man, that has just become a very serious threat to public safety, man. And I wonder what your thoughts are on that. Like, why maybe some of these mass shootings are taking place. I have my theories on it, but I'm curious what you think.
Well, if you're talking about mass shootings from like white supremacists, I've seen white supremacists talk about how they're losing power or losing their grip on society. And every time I hear white supremacists talk about why they're superior or how they gain control over a population or a region of land, they keep boasting about their military strength or their great intelligence of inventing superior firearms or methods of mass murder. And if you ask me, this is just basically them tapping back into what it is they think they have to do to regain control of what it is that they think they are losing.
Yeah, I kind of concur. And I would expand upon that by saying there was a book written in the 70s and became popular in the 80s called The Turner Diaries. And a lot of those guys who did those early domestic terrorist attacks, they were people who subscribed to that book and some of those conspiracy theories. And you have more and more people now that write these white supremacist, what do they call them? Manifestos. For
Right.
some reason, the FBI doesn't allow them to be posted, but they'll say, yeah, we found a manifesto on this guy or in his computer. It's like these people are getting indoctrinated. They believe in it. Their paranoia is real, and I think they are willing to kill. They've shown it, and I don't think
Absolutely.
enough people take it serious like we should.
Yeah, I remember there was a mass shooter from maybe a year or two ago, and someone brought up how I think it was at some place called a garlic festival, and
Santino Ligon Garlic Festival.
right,
Yeah.
and people were bringing up how this guy had a manifesto from this white supremacist from this book that's over a century old,
Mm-hmm.
and so these people are bringing up things that are decades and hundreds of years old to forward their ideals and take highly extreme actions. So yeah, there's whether it's something that's motivating them from what's occurring today, or what occurred a century ago, or half a millennium ago, or whatever, they'll still use it to justify whatever it is that they think they have to do.
Well, I mean, they consider it their birthright. The book is called Might is Right by Ragnar Redbeard. It's a pseudonym. I forget who the author's real name is, but it's shout out to Blood Moon. And I would never dox you, Blood Moon. That's why I said what I said. But Ragnar Redbeard wrote it, and I think he was a gay guy too. One second.
Right.
But some of the most vile things that I've ever heard or read out loud, I found excerpted in that book. Basically, things saying like, if you can get something, take it, right? If you have allies, don't take from them, but everyone else take it because it's your right. Blah blah blah. I was like, wow, that's really, really like, predatory.
Manifest destiny mindset.
Yeah, very
Well,
manifest destiny. Lebensraum. I'm sorry, go ahead. All about.
it's so nice that you always apologize, even though I cut you off. Even
That's cool.
if you think about just like the more recent history, some of the past times were completely barbaric. If I were to tell you that that humans burned other humans alive or they beheaded them, you would probably think I was talking about the Taliban, or I was talking about some Muslim group in Nigeria, right? A terroristic group. No, I'm talking about America. Like, these are things that were commonplace. Like, they were picnics. These were enjoyable in the very recent past. Like, these are pastimes.
Right.
You take a picnic basket, you go with your family, and then you watch a person be lynched, even a child. So it's just interesting that like the inhumanity and cruelness of it is like really shocking, because we sit here and we condemn other nations for doing these things, and when I remember seeing it on TV, it would be absolutely shocking to hear about a person being burnt alive or beheaded, right? And those are those other people, and then you find out, no, that happened right here, and these people are still alive today. Like, I mean, just even setting a dog on someone, that's something that's done.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, the thing is that's one of the things that I wanted to bring up about the shows that I've been watching. I really, sorry, I really enjoy those shows because they show some of the stuff, but the responses to them are no longer passive, right? Before this, they would never show like a black character exacting revenge or righteous justice upon their oppressor. But in them, there's been a recent outrage by the people who are the perfect puppets for white supremacist oppression. Some of these people have come out and they've said, well, we really need to have a conversation about the problematic displays of violence in shows like Them, Watchmen, and what's the other one? Lovecraft Country. Why did they say this? They're pretending that the problem they have is with black bodies being being shown to experience violence, but that's not what's happening here, because in Them they showed a black dude who is basically being oppressed by a white cop, and he blows that cop's brains out. And I couldn't believe that they let that pass on TV. I think the studio is Sony, right? And I couldn't believe that they let that pass on the streaming channel, but they did. And Lovecraft Country as well. They show like some of the black characters letting off some demons as what do you call it, as pets, and
Right.
having them attack white people. And at the end of Lovecraft Country, they remove that. There's no more Harry Potter. Damn it! All this Gandalf shit, fucking Harry Potter. At the end of Lovecraft Country, that girl, I forgot what her name was. She's pregnant with Atticus's baby. She was like, no more white people using magic. I remove because the female villain said, "You removed my ability to use magic," and then the girl's like, "I removed all white people's ability to use magic." So she disconnected the entire white ethnicity from the use of magic, and that was powerful. And some of that stuff that's being displayed, they were low key attacking it, but they didn't want to say that that's what they were attacking. Instead, they poured on the talking point of, well, black bodies experiencing violence has always been used to traumatize us, which is true. Which is true. The only thing is, that's not the real reason
We
they were
didn't care about that.
complaining.
They played on the news.
Yeah, see? But when it's played on the news,
On the
they don't have.
news.
Yeah. But and also, now the thing is, the white woman is the only one. I mean, if you watch Aliens, if you watch Terminator, the white woman's the only one out here who's allowed in cinema. Give me a second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. The white woman's the only one out here who's allowed in cinema to be an alpha female. All right, to kick ass and take names and have her own agency. Okay, like men could have agency, black men could have agency, white men could have agency, white women could totally have complete agency over everyone else, not only herself and her own destiny. But when they showed Journey Smollett Bell's character,
Oh,
basically
on the underground.
on underground. Oh, that's Chef's
Oh, that
Kiss.
was such a
Mwah.
good show.
Oh my God! But it wasn't. I wasn't even referring to that. But you brought up that show, so we'll switch to that show. That show was amazing.
Oh my God! I
Amazing.
believe they didn't renew it for a third season.
They're not gonna renew that shit. What makes you think they're going? They ain't even renew Watchmen, and that show shut down Netflix because so many people logged on to that shit. They ain't renew that. What makes you think they're gonna renew? What was it called? Rundown. Underground. Underground was.
That was the
Oh
first time
my
I
God.
saw black people, because every time I've heard about slavery, it's always been we're just these docile people
Yep.
waiting on the good old white man to bring us to freedom. And that
Yep.
show, it was like they were really just they were they were kicking ass, and
Yeah.
it was to a
One of
modern day soundtrack. They were
to a modern day soundtrack. Wait, what? Like it was a mix, right? So as far as like having shit bumping, that was a modern day soundtrack, but they also put cinematic action music when action was going on. So it's like on all fronts, just amazing show. And then they're not gonna renew it. Even like they're not gonna renew it when it starts getting super interesting. Because when the no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I blame Jeffy Smollett. I blame her
Oh,
brother.
Oh, her brother? Nah, man, listen, they want us to blame each other for that shit. I don't think his antics had anything to do with that joint. I think they didn't renew it because they don't want us to have a hit show anymore. Whenever we start getting some sort of abstract power, not even functional power, like we can't enact laws, we can't pass legislation. So we're having abstract power where people are like, oh, this character on TV is amazing. Let me be like her. Let me be like him. They won't even let us have that. That's why they don't renew that
It
show.
changed the narrative, and also in that show, if you remember, I don't know if anyone else has watched that show, but if you haven't, please go online.
Yeah, try to find that.
You can go. You can get it on. I think HBO Max has it. It was so freaking good. It showed black people using their agency, because even when they were in the house, right? Even when they were in roles where that we commonly see them as being weaker, right? They were
subservient.
Subservient. They were using their positions to help their family. because
Yep.
the enclaves, they love to put house versus field. No,
Yeah.
they were family,
No. Yeah.
right?
In fact, yeah. Like it was complete. Oh my God. If
So,
if you're looking at this right now, if you're watching right now, first of all, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you're on any social media platform, I need you to share the link to this channel. Come back with a friend or 10. But if you're watching this, listen to what All Aboard is saying. We're not excited about this. We're not being paid. We're not shills. All right. We're not excited about this because we're getting paid for this shit. We're excited because these shows are actually good, and especially the show that she's mentioning here, which I keep forgetting the name of it, but
the
Underground, right?
underground, it's like the Underground Railroad.
Yeah. I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's called Underground. It's who's snoring?
Wow,
Economic freedom. You okay?
sleeping.
Yeah, and that's some sweet sleep too. This dude's enjoying whatever dream that shit is. That's some good shit. But yeah. Hold on one second. Let me see. Who said? Adormi says I'm Afro Latina. Yeah. The other thing about that is, let me mute his mic. Oh, that's some good sleep this man having. I'm jealous. All right, look, with Underground, one one of the disappointments is that they cut it off, right? They didn't renew it anymore just when it started to get good. Because the thing is, even though the first season and the first and second season were so good, when they started going into the literal the actual underground movement, because I forget which season I stopped watching it at. When what's that gorgeous woman's name? Journey Smollett Bell's mom.
Her mom. Oh, when she
Yeah,
got into the other plantation.
yeah, to the other plantation.
Oh my God,
Was that season two or season? Wait,
amazing.
that was the end of season one or the end of season two?
The end of season 1.
Okay, so season two covered that then. So
I'm not gonna
yeah,
spoil it. You can still watch.
yeah. No, don't say no more. I gotta go
You gotta go
get the
back and
second
watch
season.
it. It was worth it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna get that second season because it wow.
No
It
one
showed
wants to have
how
that
I'm sorry, go
narrative.
ahead.
They don't want the narrative of, because Black people were not these. That was a big thing, right? To suppress the fighting spirit, because that was a large part of it. Black people weren't just carried over to the Americas willingly without a fight. Now there was a fight, and if you think about it, the people that made it to America were really the strongest of the strong.
Yeah.
Right? The people that made it to the Americas. That is
that's why they have to break us so much. Yeah.
Right. And so it was interesting to see a fighting people. Like Black people were very, very ingenuitive, I think is the word. Like
yeah, they had a lot of ingenuity. Yep.
Yeah, like the different ways they came up with to be able to escape, right?
Yeah.
Like some did it through mailing themselves to freedom. Some fought. Some used their some tricked the people learning how to read and things like that and wrote passes. But everyone was pretty much on the same page. Most people didn't want to be enslaved, and they make it seem like people were just like, oh, I was just happy to be a slave. Oh, master, take good care. No.
Yeah.
They wanted to be free, and it was nice to see people fighting back, because there's stories of it. I'm just happy that you saw the show too.
Yeah, look, most of the problems, the educational system. Okay. Your mic's giving us feedback. All aboard.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. Most of the problems, the educational system, because everything we know about slavery, we get it from these companies like Random House, etc., where we have Sundown join the panel. Yeah, Sundown, I'd love to get your view on some of this stuff, but it's really late. I don't think Sundown. I think Sundown has some stuff to do. But everybody in Jersey is racist, probably. But one of the problems is the educational system, because the things that we know about slavery and the all the implications of it we're getting from these books like in Random House or whatever, and we don't know who are the companies and entities that are teaching our kids this stuff. The teachers are getting the school textbooks, and no one's double checking to see which corporation, which entity, which organization, and what they're connected to. They could be connected to whole white supremacist groups and think tanks, and we won't even know this. The same think tanks that probably put together stuff like the Bell Curve probably wrote some of your textbooks, and you don't even know it. So no wonder we get this narrative like that the house slaves were kind of like, they were passive and they totally gave in, when this show actually showed the truth, where Journey Smollett Bell's mom was a Machiavellian orchestrator. That was amazing, the stuff she did. When
She was
what
really
what's
running the show. She was doing
Yep.
whatever because not all of her children were going to be in the house, right? So
Mhm.
they like to. I'm sorry, I don't know if there's still feedback. Is there?
No feedback. You good? You good?
Okay, not all
Well,
of
now there is. Now there is for some
darn
reason.
it.
Do you have multiple tabs?
Let me close everything. Not all
Yeah.
of her children were actually in the house, and she like not, and this is based off of true stories, right? Like
Yeah.
the black people in the house were also helping the black people in the field because those were their relatives, right? For me personally, being a lighter skinned black person, I would not want to be in the house, right? Because I wouldn't want to be closer to my oppressor. So there's a thing that's going around about like, light skin privilege and things like that. But
Yeah.
what I would say is being closer to your that exposes you to rape, right?
Yeah.
More often.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A lot of times the person who's raping you is your family member, right? You're around your
Yeah.
family member serving them. It's not better to be closer to your oppressor. And if I can get people to understand that, I would that's one thing that I would love for black people and people of color to understand. Being closer
Well,
to your oppressor is not a privilege.
yeah, but what I liked about the character, now there's feedback. So like when we talk, like I mute myself when you're talking. So we should probably do that to avoid the echoing and overlaps, right? So one of the things I liked about that character, that mom, is that yeah, you shouldn't want to be close to your oppressor, but she kind of flipped it and used it, and kind of like took charge, and she was basically a whole James Bond spy up in there. Because remember, she was the one who. Wait, are we spoiling it for you guys in the chat room? Um, for you guys in the chat room, we'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum. We want you to actually go and watch
If you can
watch that
watch
show.
that show, please watch
Yeah.
it. That is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's so
Well,
good.
and you know what? All aboard. This is not the first time they've done this, where they have what it is. It's a ceiling, just like just like white women were complaining about there being a glass ceiling in the 1980s. Well, there seems to be some sort of ceiling for black people in general, and black women in particular, when it comes to cinematic displays and narratives, right? So somebody like Kerry Washington in the show Scandal, where she could have won a lot of awards for it, but if you notice, like, a lot of times she's snubbed for her performances, on Scandal and stuff like that. They have a glass ceiling for black people in some of these TV series. And one of the one of the shows that they did that with was a show called Undercovers. Anybody ever saw that? At this point, it's probably 15, 17 years old, the show. But it was called Undercovers, and it's, hold on one second. Smoothie, are they They are loud, and you can hear their accent. That's how I know. You guys still talking about Jersey? Aboard. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just had it
All right.
muted.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Hold on. Cornell Brown, can you hear us?
Yep, I'm still here.
Good. Just a quick sound check. I don't want to have more technical difficulties, right? So, yeah, one of the shows was called Undercovers, and it was. Let me see if I could find this stuff here. It was amazing. It was a great show. It was with Boris Kodjoe, I think his name is, that German, Afro-German dude. No one knows this, but he's actual German and he speaks German. He's a model from Germany, but
Oh, I know.
he's black.
I know
Yeah,
who he is.
yeah, Boris Kodjoe. People, women, women had huge crushes on him, but they didn't know that he's not actually even American. He's German. But Undercovers was with Gugu. Wait, Gugu Mbatha Raw. Gugu Mbatha Raw, and basically, it's if you guys remember the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, where they were both spies slash assassins living under the same roof, and they didn't know that the other mate was a spy slash an assassin, and so eventually they found out, and their companies are what do you call it, are rivals, and they had to have a showdown. But with Undercovers, they worked for the same agency, so it was Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but without the contention. So and it was also nice to see the relationships between black and women displayed on screen without like a toxic level of contention, like the man yelling at the woman yelling at the man, and demeaning each other and stuff like that. So it was amazing. But I don't think it made it past one season. Hold on, give me 1 second. I hope. Give me a second. I'm hoping that I don't get pulled down due to copyright infringement for this. Let me try to get the trailer on. It's like a 30-second to 1 minute trailer, maybe. So hold on 1 minute. Share the screen. Boom. Share audio. And let's go. Let's see this right now. 720. If this is it's not 720.
Okay, you're very crazy. Loco.
We can sum up Wednesdays in 2 easy words.
More sexy.
Actually, how about JJ? JJ Abrams.
All right, we're gonna fix it tonight.
Booyah.
What he said.
This is the first pilot I've directed since the Lost Pod. One of the reasons I'm thrilled about Undercovers is that it literally is this cocktail of everything I love. It's comedy, it's great romance, it's amazing action. We were incredibly lucky to find two, like a lightning in a bottle, actors in Boris Kodjoe and Gugu Mbatha Raw.
Our show is about a married couple who are spies.
Who go on exciting adventures and lead a double life.
And that to me is a show I would watch every week.
Check it out.
Their marriage, loving. There's only one thing missing.
I can't remember the last time we danced.
Spice.
I'm so overdue. I'm so exhausted.
Carl Shaw eliminated 2 years later to would assassin, aka Leo Nash.
You know, we resigned
5 years ago, yes. Nash had a scheduled meeting 72 hours ago. He failed to appear.
There must be active agents could help find Leo better than we might.
I will help you, but my wife never got my involvement ever.
Are you in or out?
We need appointments this afternoon. Equipment here, weapons, disguises, anything you need to get. Okay. That is very exciting, huh?
I'm tingling.
Can I say, what a thrill it is to be working with this woman, any kind of legend. Did you just say my husband is a legend? You want to do grab and gab? Person to talk? Sexpionage always works.
You just said the word sexpionage.
What does espionage even mean? Someone's a little too good at espionage.
Okay, you're very crazy.
Look up.
Sometimes the best way to spice things up is to turn these sexpionage. It's a little cold reaction. Arrow. Undercovers.
But yeah, that show was amazing, and I saw the. Give me 1 second here.
Okay, you're very crazy.
Boom. Let me turn that off. Yeah, that show was amazing, and it only went on for one season, and then they they never renewed it. Same thing with the Underground, 2 seasons, they never renewed it. Same thing with Watchmen. And anyone here ever saw the Watchmen show?
I've heard of it, but
That show
I
was
don't think
really
I've
good,
seen it.
actually.
Yeah, you saw it. Cornell, you heard of it? Have you seen anything of it, like clips or trailers or anything?
Um, I have a feeling I have, but I do not remember right now.
It was really good. Now the thing is, being okay, so my experience online here, it's split into twos, right? So I'm what's called a blurred. So I'm black and I'm a nerd, right? So I'm a blurred. Now the thing is, the section of YouTube that I'm involved in right now with you guys, it's kind of like the drama section, right? So we like the bochenche, we like the drama, we like the brouhaha, but the other side is the nerd side. On the nerd side, make no mistake, it's infested with white supremacists, racist, homophobic, misogynists, just like infested with it. And the fact that you had a black woman as the lead role in Watchmen, it drove them nuts. Every episode, you could not go and discuss it on Twitter. If you go discuss it on Twitter, like it's only a matter of time before you hear we was Kangs, before they call her Sheboon. That's a thing that they love calling black women, like a baboon, but a female Sheboon. These people have lost their minds, especially since the show. Every episode, it was getting better and better. The first episode was okay. Sundown said, like Dr. Manhattan, what are you up to? Yeah, yeah, we're talking about Watchmen, Sundown. Dr. Manhattan, yeah, that was cool. Um, the first episode, not a lot of people knew that the show even existed because they didn't promote it too tough. So, first episode didn't do all that well. By the time the second episode rolled around, I forget if they dropped it so that you can binge watch it. I forgot what my experience was with that show. I think I watched it every week, whether you can binge watch it or not. My experience was I watched one episode per week or something like that. And what happened was the second episode came around, and word of mouth was accumulating. So by the time the third episode rolled around, Netflix was having some sort of not Netflix, whatever that platform was. If it was HBO, I think, was having a problem with sustainability because people were flooding onto the platform. We got to see the show, right? Just like Luke Cage. When Luke Cage came on, it legit crashed Netflix. People flooded onto that platform, and Netflix was down for like a good half a day because they couldn't sustain the amount of people that came on there. And so the section of YouTube dealing with nerddom, geekdom, they lost their shit. They were like, "Wow, we got all these black people on the show." Well, it's a black show. Yeah, but why is it all the white people are evil? Well, the characters are evil. Like no explanation was enough. No explanation was enough. You know. Have you guys seen the Luke Cage series?
I've heard of it. I know what the premise. It's a black superhero from Harlem
Yeah.
Um, he
Was
only rode the train, I believe. Like he
yeah,
helped people.
he was basically the everyman's hero, right?
Right.
So, he would help you out. And like, things like the drug dealers and rapists and stuff like that, stuff that, Spider-Man would probably be too busy or would overlook, and Iron Man would overlook, Thor would overlook. He would not overlook that stuff. He would help. A lot of the plots would deal with, people having normal problems, like maybe a guy owns a barber shop and he can't make rent on the barber shop because he's having people who threaten him and take some of his money for protection, blah 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 blah. These sorts of things. Hold on. Sundown says half of the people talking like that have never read comics. Yeah, that's true. Well, the thing is, Sundown, a lot of the people talking like that, they're people who, um, you know, they have their own problems, right? They have their own. There's a Venn diagram between white supremacists, all out, you know, misogynists, and complete homophobics. And then when you cross those three circles together, you have some nerds in the nerd community. All right. So these guys are not geeks, they're not nerds, they're literal bigots. They're literal bigots. Okay. Some of those guys, I'm not gonna say the entire ball of wax or whatever. Sundown says, I'm gonna join when my mic charges. Yeah, no problem, man. We'll hold it down. The last panel I had, I kind of fell asleep. I stepped away for a minute. I was like, you know what, and then I fell out. Um, it was kind of late. I have these streams kind of late. Blood Moon says if the characters in the comics is white, they want it to be the same in the movies. You know what? To some extent, Blood Moon, I also want that to be the case because Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't like the fact that he's the new Captain America. He's already Falcon. I think
Yeah.
like that overlaps it for no reason. You know, in the comics, one of the characters called Misty Knight, she doesn't have a superhero name. And then they gave her a shot at being Captain America, but that didn't last long. Why can't she be Captain America and the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe? They've only introduced her in Luke Cage, and she doesn't have a superhero name yet. So I wouldn't mind the mantle going to her. But Falcon is already way badass. Why do I want a flying saucer or a frisbee, a metal frisbee, when I got literal wings? The guy's he's an Air Force special spec ops soldier with James Bond gadgets. Why do I want like a metal frisbee? Nah, man. I think it's a
But
downgrade for Falcon to become Captain America, and they don't even give him the super soldier serum. Go ahead. I think I cut someone off who was about to speak.
you didn't cut anyone off. I was interrupting you actually. But you're so sweet. But
No problem.
if you think about it, like
But go ahead.
no one ever cares when a white person takes over an eth an
An
ethnically
yeah,
yeah an ethnic role. They don't ever
yeah.
get outraged about that. Like
Nah,
so that's where I'm like, okay, you guys just don't want a black person or another race. Usually black. It's usually black.
yeah.
I don't see them get outraged when any other race does it. But God forbid there's a black Superman or Spider Man or you know.
Well, I mean, in some ways I have a problem with it in terms. I don't want anybody's hand me downs, right? But
Right.
the fact that they're so angry at it, that's what gets to me. See, if all things being equal, I want my own. Okay, every 5 months or so, it's not happening so much anymore. But there was a point where every 5 months or so, someone was floating a rumor on Twitter that Idris Elba was going to be the next James Bond. And Idris was like, "Look, it's hurting my career for you guys to keep doing this. Can you please stop doing it? They're never gonna make me James Bond, so stop doing it. It's making me suffer." And I forgot what the English equivalent is for Hollywood over in the UK, but he's like,
Oh, I don't know.
"Oh, yeah, I forget what it's called. It probably doesn't even have a name yet, or they probably just call it movie industry over there." But it kind of hurts him, and he was like, "Stop doing it." Right? I don't want a black James Bond either. I don't want a black James Bond, but a black spy like the character that Wesley Snipes played in Art of War. That was amazing.
For me,
They should have.
I'm not really like a big like sci-fi or I'm not really into comics and all of that. But I
Uh-huh.
don't think James Bond really has a race, right? Now,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
that's his name. That's his name. That's not like a title. That's his name. That's a
yeah,
literal
but so
character.
why shouldn't we just retire it after the original James Bond dies? Why can anybody play him?
Well, okay. Well, companies will never let go of a golden goose. All right. You don't. They'll never kill the goose that laid the golden egg. Right. So the name James Bond, it's never going away. So
Okay, I think I see what you're saying.
yeah, like
So
if he
James Bond is
dies,
supposed to be
they'll
a
just
character
reboot it.
that was
I'm sorry,
written.
guys.
James Bond was a character written for a white man. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, it's written for a white guy, and he's from the quote unquote land of gentry over in Ireland or Scotland or one of those things, right? And basically he goes back to Scotland, Ireland, blah 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 blah. Now the thing is, if they really wanted to, make him black, that would not be a problem because, as you said, was it you, all aboard, who mentioned that some soldiers went out to Ireland and fathered some children?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they could do that. They
They
can.
could do that.
Yeah,
They could do that.
but
Oh,
I wouldn't
yeah,
want
go ahead.
a white Luke Cage either. So
Yeah, see?
it would kind
So
of take away from the it would take away from the storyline, right?
yeah,
But it's just interesting because they always play anything that's Asian. A white person is going to play it in a movie. It's not even believable,
hmm
you
and they
know.
have no problems with that either.
And no one's boycotting it or picketing it. Like people just accept it. So that's
Yeah.
my only thing.
Yo, these people lost their minds in Thor. I mean, it's not like Thor is black, even though that nose is weirdly suspect, Chris Helmsworth. Chris got some black in him somewhere. That nose is not a white guy's nose. But these people lost their minds in Thor when Idris Elba showed up as Heimdall. I mean, look, why don't they take comfort in the fact that they brought a black guy to Norse mythology, and they
Well,
made
that
him a
actually
doormat?
happened, though. There were black people going around during that time. Like the Moors were over there doing a whole bunch of
Oh
shit.
hell yeah! They found
They were over
Moorish coins up there, up in like Sweden and up in Germany and stuff like that during the time of the Vikings. They found Moorish coins. So these people be like, I don't understand why they get so upset when we show black people in Europe. I don't get it because
You can't
you
even
just
say
brought up a
Black
very good
Lives
point.
Matter without
I'm
people.
sorry, guy.
You can't even say Black Lives Matter without people
Yeah,
losing.
without
losing
without
their
because what was it, the Witcher? You guys saw the Witcher with Henry Cavill?
Nope, this is my first time hearing of that one.
Damn, why you guys don't watch geek stuff, But all right, look, The Witcher is kind of like a series. It's a series based on a video game that is based on a series of novels. So it's a TV series based on a video game based on novels. Now, both the novels and the TV series, they showed they portrayed basically white people up in places like Poland, right? Basically, it's a fictional planet, but the planet itself is reflective of Poland. That's how the original author intended it to be. Now,
The
that
entire
being
planet.
said, yeah, the entire planet. Well, look, they do what they want. He's a novelist. He wrote some novels. We can't hold him to the standard of, oh, you got to make black people in there. He did what he
No,
did.
no, no.
Also, like George R. R. Martin, people don't ever think of this, but Game of Thrones doesn't take place on Earth. That's not Earth. That's another planet somewhere. It just so happens to look like Earth, just like Skyrim, the video game Skyrim and stuff like that. But
Right.
be that as it may, right? Um, The Witcher takes place on a planet that looks remarkably like Poland, right? And it has remarkable resemblance to medieval times. That being said, there were black people in those places. So when black people showed up in The Witcher, the TV series, these people across Twitter lost their minds. They called it blackwash. And that's what in God's name is blackwash?
They can't even come up with their own little phrases.
Yeah, their own shit. They come up with their own shit. And the thing is, they can't come up with their own original shit. It's because we called when they kind of like bleach history. We call it whitewash, and so they can't come up with their own shit. Just like White Lives Matter, you really couldn't come up with your own shit. Soon as they heard Black Lives Matter, all of a sudden there's Blue Lives Matter and there's White Lives Matter.
I mean, there's Native Lives Matter. There's damn, nobody I see them.
Look, the natives I give a pass. No,
black,
listen.
We said black power. They said white power. Right?
Yeah, like what the hell?
Come on, you can't come up with nothing.
I mean, but what else is new, right? What else is new? Nearest Green, you guys know about Nearest Green, Jack Daniels. They came out ahead of that liquor thing, the liquor scandal. These companies, they smart now. They know we're living in the age of super information, okay? So they know they got to get ahead of shit as soon as they catch a whiff of it. So when it came out through their paperwork that Jack Daniels stole his recipe for that liquor from a slave, literally from a slave, they got ahead of that shit and they said, yes, we at Jack Daniels LLC, blah 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 blah, realized that the recipe was taken from a man called Nearest Green, blah 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 blah, and so now Nearest Green has his own brand of liquor. No, his own bottle over in Jack Daniels. They didn't seek out the descendants. Now they didn't see. Yeah, you feel me? They didn't seek out the descendants and said, "Hey, here's some paper. Let's break you off." They ain't do that. Now you could stay poor, black woman and black man. You could stay poor. We'll keep this money over here and we'll give you some symbolic victory. Yeah, Nearest Green has his own bottle. There's this woman out in
so you're still robbing them. So they're
they're
robbing them. That's more.
They're still robbing. Yeah, they're still robbing us. But however, this is what I wanted to bring up in Uppity Knickers Part 4. The thing is, I've been falling behind. Me and Rad and some other people, we've been putting some stuff together. But with Uppity Knickers, I fell behind, and I'm supposed to be covering this woman who, when she heard about Nearest Green, this is how it has to be. She did not negotiate with these people. Why would you negotiate with terrorists? You don't negotiate with terrorists. Will you ever get these people to confess about robbing you of all your riches? No. So she did not negotiate with these people. She did not pick it outside their businesses and say, give Nearest Green his own, or get the descendants. Nah. She got some money together. I don't know how she got the paper, but somebody backed her. She went out and got some paper together, and she started a literal competing company versus, right, a company that competes in the market against Jack Daniels and other places like Bacardi. And she calls it Nearest Green or something like that. The Nearest Green, some real clever name. I'm sorry, Dad.
Sock it to the pockets. That's the only thing white supremacy understands is when you sock it to their pockets.
Pocket.
That's it. When you do your episode, you gotta talk about Bruce Beach, Manhattan Beach in California, because there's something legendary just happened. You have to look it up. There was a beachfront property that was stolen from a black family. It was they used the ultimate domain law. Oh no, eminent domain law.
Eminent domain, okay.
Eminent domain to take away beachfront property. It was the only place in California where black people could go to the beach, right? Because the beach has always been a place that's segregated. Pools, the beach, things like that. They had beachfront property. They made a resort, right? At this point, it's worth 75 million, right? The city stole it from them, took it from them out of racism, and barred them from buying anything else on the beach.
Right.
Wow.
The city
See?
just gave them back.
And those were hardworking, honest.
Yeah, but who they gave it back to? Like the
To
descendants?
the descendants. But here's the thing. Now I
Mhm.
wonder, they're gonna probably hit him with the property taxes,
Yeah.
right? There's gonna be a lot that comes with it because white supremacy does not just let go, right?
Yeah.
They
They
don't.
do not take a L. They do,
They don't
man.
like taking L's, man.
Yeah.
The first
That's
thing
why I
they
was.
did, Mhm.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
The
The first
first
thing
thing
they
they
did.
tried to do, they tried to give them a rock that they said was worth $350,000, saying Bruce's Beach, and that was what they were supposed to just take and be happy with.
Right.
Yo,
Some
Why
small
are you
park or
spend
something.
350 on a rock?
These people, like they're like they're unbelievable, man.
Interesting. They are. You have to be as cunning and like as sneaky. Like
Yeah.
white
Be,
supremacy
be,
doesn't want to die because all they have is they made up all these rules because
Yep.
they really are the minority in the world, and people forget that there's only a
Mhm.
little bit of them.
Listen.
They're the minority in the world. They've just been able to use their influence to take over a whole bunch of shit.
Yo, we're living in the age of super information where all this stuff can be seen and heard and found out. And so what happens is these people, what they're doing is they're getting ahead of all this stuff. And what I would like to do is to basically know about the stuff before they could get ahead of it. And when then we put them on blast. Because when they get ahead of it, they can kind of like let the pressure out instead of it blowing up. They let the pressure out slowly. And that's not what we want to happen. Ideally, what I would have loved to have happened was for them not to only get the rights to the beach back, but get some additional paper on top of it from a lawsuit. That's
Right.
what I would have loved. You know what I'm saying? So you triple that paper. Not only you get like a you know you get the beach back, right? Then you get the rights to market that beach because here's the thing with that beach, right? We don't know how to maximize. Now, first preamble, I'm not a huge fan of capitalism, but if we swimming in this water, we might as well swim in the water and do back laps and shit. Okay? So, if
Right.
if you're going to be in this environment, try to get the bag. So with this beach, there's no reason why movies aren't filmed on it, why it doesn't become a tourist location and all that, and then all that paper goes to that family.
Well, here's the
Okay?
thing.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
actually not going to have actual access to the beach, right? The beach is still it's going to be leased by the city, right? The city's going to pay them a certain amount of money now to be able to
Wow.
lease.
Oh, lease it from them? Okay, well, paper's paper. So,
But
but
what if they
as
want to have their beach and they want to put a hotel up right there?
right?
Why do they
So
have to?
they won't be able to?
No, because
What
right
the hell?
now the city is gonna immediately say we're giving it to you, but now you have to lease it to us. So that you have to lease it to us, we're gonna pay you a certain amount of money. Kind of like Guantanamo Bay, how America has Guantanamo Bay, right? That's not full ownership because you're still forcing them to do what you want them to do with this property. And I also think they owe them back pay. They owe them back
Oh,
pay.
hell yeah. Hell yeah, they owe them back pay.
They owe them back pay because everyone in that family probably would have been millionaires. They said it themselves. The city said that if they weren't deprived of their property. Like
You see how much generational wealth. Now the thing is, okay, I totally agree with what you said all aboard that family could have all been millionaires. Yay. I mean shit, they could have been billionaires by now. This is 2021. Depending on how long this thing's been, that beach has been
100 years.
how much?
100.
Okay, they'd have been billionaires, man. It's not a matter of millions anymore. They'd have been billionaires, legit billionaires. And not only that, What about the people under them who are doing business on the periphery? There would have been those people would have been millionaires, right? And so look how much generational wealth
In that
was
neighborhood
denied.
would have been there would have been other black businesses that would have been established
Mhm.
because they were there, because they were serving a black community that couldn't go to the beach outside of this place, right? So that would have led to other people buying property. They strategically shut black people out of beachfront property. That's why you don't see black people on the beach. And they shut us out of pools. They shut us out of anything to do with water, right? So
Yeah.
mhm,
What is it with them and water? Like they hate when they hate us in water.
they don't want us to be
Like,
able to swim because they think we're gonna run away or something. I don't know.
oh, maybe that's like an innate fear that they have of us running away if we're in water. Like we'll swim away and get away from, which is a weird fear to have because you notice whenever they have their pools and like let's say it's an apartment complex and then you rent there and there's a pool and you try to get access to it. They're like, let me see your ID card.
Oh, they still do that to this day.
Yeah, I
Back
don't
in
know
the day,
what
they
it
used
is.
to put acid in the pools when black people got in
Wow.
it, so they could burn the children, burn their eyes and their skin. They like. I think it's also they don't want to share water with us. They don't want to use public facilities like drinking water, for example, a fountain. What was the problem with a black person drinking water from a
Well,
fountain? Why did we need
well, I
our
mean,
own separate fountain?
I ain't even gonna lie. I don't want to share any water with them either. I don't want to
Better for
swim
us.
anywhere
Yeah.
they. You feel me? Like nah.
Like
So
they could
I
have a
mean,
black person feed their baby right from their breast, but oh, we can't drink from the same fountain. Like that's
yeah.
ridiculous. That's silly.
And listen, if they want that separation, they can have it. I don't fuck with them like that either. I don't fuck with them like that. Like if they don't want me in their pool, listen, let me have my own pool. If I don't have to use your pool, I'm good with that. Just don't get in my way if I'm building my own pool. You feel me? So like
Right.
with that beach, you know. So one of the things about that beach, I would love to know how many times during the Jim Crow era and all those Jim Crow wasn't nationwide, was it? Low key it was,
It was
but like
nationwide, pretty
yeah,
pretty
but
much.
officially it's supposedly a South thing, south of the Mason Dixon line or whatever. But here's the thing: how many times have black people been turned away from that beach during the time of heightened racism and heightened discrimination, you know? And low key or secretly, that beach belonged to black people.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's insane.
And you would have
That's
never
insane.
known that black people owned that beach if it weren't for this family preserving that legacy, you know? Um, and just imagine knowing that this thing was stolen from your family and everyone knows it's yours and there's nothing you can do about it. So thankfully they're doing something. They're giving the people something, right? But
Yeah.
never be satisfied with the bare
Mhm.
minimum. No, I want all of it.
I
Yeah,
think
that's.
on listen. Oh, I'm sorry. Get Cornell.
I was just gonna say that just goes to show how long. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm just hearing a bit of an echo, so I was wondering what was
Oh,
happening.
let me mute myself in case it's me.
Um, yeah, that just goes to show just how diabolical these people are. Because like when we talk about whitewashing, that's what we're talking about, not some person painting a white version of some black fictional character. Uh, like we're talking about legit things that have majorly set people back, and these people's lives could
Yep.
have been so unbelievably better than we could possibly imagine right now. I mean, black society as we know it, had these things not occurred, could be better than just about any other group that's just now immigrating here, instead of us having
Yeah.
to compete with people who just got here yesterday. So,
Look, man. Look, here's the thing, right? So, all right. Black Wall Street and the dozens upon dozens upon dozens of black towns of full of affluent black people that were literally bombed to smithereens by these white supremacist riots. If those cities were still around, what would the demographics look like for black people in America? Seneca Village, right? Which at one point was Senegal Village or something like that out in New York. If it was still owned by us, what would the demographics of black people look like in this country? This beach that all aboard brought up, if that was never taken from us, what would the demographics look like? Look how much business that could have been. Or if you have a beach, you know how much business that brings you. That's like Atlantic City.
Right.
That's like So with all these things, it's a wonder that these people haven't, like their narratives haven't collapsed yet, because a lot of this stuff is coming out. And as far as uppity knickers, all aboard, I'd like for you and Cornell Brown to come on there. We're having it every Thursday, but what I'm thinking now is if we can have some sort of conference between us, like we record some stuff, and I can actually produce it. I try to make my content very polished.
Intriguing.
Yeah, well, intriguing and very polished, like very high production value. So if we can record some conversation, like some sort of interplay where we discuss this stuff, and I'll actually put visuals over it, and then I'll probably make that into a legit video instead of having it as a live, right? We can also have a live about it, but I'm thinking like maybe a full video of it, almost like a documentary. I have like a mini documentary on this channel if you guys have time to check that out later, about the N word, right? It's a mini. It's about like maybe 7 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember Radical Latino shared it some time ago.
okay. So you saw that then. But I want to do more things like that, and I want to do it very long, something like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, like a full documentary. But I want actual other people aside from me speaking on it, like people who know the stuff, and who are bringing up different topics and different points, and then I'll put visuals over it. Okay. Now to get back on the stuff, have you guys seen um what's the other show here? Okay, we covered Luke Cage, we covered them. uh all aboard, you saw them, right? You said you saw them.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you guys didn't see them. I highly recommend it. It I thought I would love Lovecraft Country more, but I like them way better, because with them, uh it showed agency. Like the people just didn't let things happen to them, and they didn't have powers like in Lovecraft Country, where they ended up with magical powers. There was nothing like that, and it was just basically people taking control of their lives, right? And it was amazing. um and they also showed that there are many levels to white people's evil, because now the narrative that the dominant white society is putting out is that only the extremists are the evil white people. But in them, they showed all of them are. The condescending cop who keeps telling you, look, if you just comply and obey, nothing will happen to you. That cop is in there, and he's evil as hell. The liberal white people, I don't see color. I see you as everyone else, Sarah. That woman's in there. Like, they showed the
Well,
entire strata. Go
I
ahead,
think
Adorn.
that's so important
Roll
to
aboard.
say, because I think that actually for me, that was the racism that impacted me the most. That racism is to strip you of your identity, right? It's subtle, but that's the racism where
Yeah.
they pretend they can't pronounce your name, and they
Oh,
slowly strip you of your identity. That's the racism where they make fun of the food that you eat because it's not a
mm-hmm,
peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And so you slowly end up stripping yourself from your own culture. That's how you get a Stacey Dash, right? It's
mm-hmm,
because she was she felt like she wasn't good enough because she was slowly made to feel like she was inferior. And that doesn't come from necessarily just conservatives. That comes from liberals. That comes from the people who say, I care about you. Tell me about your pain, right? When they could
mm-hmm.
really just go do a Google search, right?
Yeah, and read
That
a damn book.
Right, you
Yeah.
can. This is not a new thing. Like, come on, there's information out there. That's like the people that enjoy watching your snuff films on the daily news because
Mm,
they can say like Black Lives Matter when they really don't care because there's black people around them that they could care less about, right?
mm-hmm.
That's that type of racism, and I think it's just as dangerous, maybe even more so, because the overt racism is easily identifiable, right? I
Yeah,
can see that and I can know that's danger. That's not good for me. But then when you
yeah.
have the covert racism, like for example, the woman who went into a bakery in Brooklyn or in New York somewhere, and she has her mixed children, right? And she's calling the man behind the register the N word for actually no freaking reason, right?
Wow.
And she has these black children, and they're taking that in, right? That is, and she's, those sorts of things. People that are right in your circle, so it's harder to identify that it's violence, it's toxic, it's pain, it's negative, it's hurting me, right? Because you're thinking, but they're nice to me.
Mm,
That's something that I think really needs to be addressed, like the nice racist.
yeah, and the fake activists. The
Right,
fake activists to me are the worst ones.
right.
W-
Those are the ones also that are causing a lot of the damage in these cities. Really, they're the ones that are breaking windows and doing all that
mhm,
stuff, and then the black people get blamed for it. Like Black Lives Matter pretty much is taken over by white people, right?
yeah.
But
Mhm,
it gets a bad rap and the message is lost. But really, the majority of black people are peaceful at these protests. Not
mm.
saying that they have to be, right?
No,
We're
but we are. Yeah.
we're just peaceful people. That's just how it is. You can't say we're not peaceful. If we weren't peaceful, this country would have been burned to the ground a long time ago.
What one of the points that you brought up that I really want to actually put a lens on, put a lens over it, is pain porn. They have kind of like a hunger for pain porn dealing with us. There was when I was frequenting Facebook about maybe 7 or 8 years ago when I was still on that platform, there was a white woman who would do stuff like every time Black History Month is up, it's coming up, she would actually put the photos of black victims as her avatar profile. So one time she would have Emmett Till, and then she would have that photo. And
I know the photo you're talking about.
yeah, you know, and I'm like, okay, what, I confronted her. Why are you doing this? And it wasn't just the one photo, all aboard. There's the disfigured one. She would put that up too. And I'm like, why would you have this? I didn't ask, because the thing is, when you change your profile photo, right? Um, on Facebook, I get to see it. If I'm following you, if I'm one of your friends, it shows up on my feed. So I did not ask to relive that trauma. So I'm looking through my feed and bam, there's a big photo of the disfigured body of Emmett Till, such and such as new profile as announced by Facebook. And then I'm like, why do you have this as your profile picture? Well, I think that as white people, we tend to live in comfort, and I'm I'm wanting to jostle them and shake them and make them uncomfortable to see what we've done. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, that's the reason why. It's not that you're low key living, this porn fantasy. It's pain porn.
Yeah.
It's pain porn.
And if a person
Like,
that personal that if that a person from that community tells you this is hurting me, like
yeah.
this is uncomfortable, then if you're an ally, wouldn't you try to minimize that? Wouldn't you take note of that and do something different?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, you should have. But she kept it up. She kept the photo up. One of her other friends. See, birds of a feather, right? One of her other friends, another white woman. I scrolled through some of her posts and I came upon a post where she said black people should stop biting the hand that feeds them. This is how these people roll. These are liberals. These are liberals.
a
It's
lot of
like,
times what I've noticed is if they can't be popular in certain circles, they will try to become popular in an activist circle, right? Um,
yeah.
it's they don't really care about the issue. They feel like they're doing you a favor really because they really shouldn't. They don't even have to care about you. You know, that's the
Hmm.
attitude that they have a lot of times. I don't trust the liberal. I don't trust the conservative. I trust people who prove it to me. Like you have to put in your work. Put in your work. And I think the first work should start with your money. Honestly,
Yeah,
I really can't trust
absolutely.
anyone that cares so much about um the the what is it
Discrepancy?
discrepancies. Sorry, I'm going to
Hmm.
my Spanish for a second.
No problem.
I don't trust anyone that's saying that. Like, give me some money then. If you really care, you don't
Yeah.
care about
Yeah,
you know
paper up. Paper up.
you don't care. You really don't because you know that there's generational wealth that you've inherited and that I haven't. So, and I'm not going to actually take their money. But I'm just saying, give me some money then. You don't
Yep.
care. You don't because
Or you know what? Because I mean, they play stupid, but it's more than they can do more. Like, I don't have anything. Okay, yeah, but you have connections. You
yeah,
have insight. You could
give me a
if you
dozen,
wanted
right?
to give, yeah, you feel me?
Put me on with something.
If you really felt that way, you could actually pass some blessings down to me.
Right.
One of the things I've learned from working in the corporate world is that with white privilege, it's more than about money.
It's
You could have
connections, baby.
yeah.
Connections.
Right.
Mhm.
Your uncle owns this company. This person knows the mayor. They get plugged
Mhm.
in. You know,
Yeah,
plug me
Right.
in too. Then, if you
you feel
care,
me?
they
If you
don't want to
care
do
so
that.
much. Yeah, if you care so much. Your Black Lives Matter t-shirt and your
Man,
Facebook posts and your your tweets, your hashtagtivist tweets, they don't do anything for me.
first of all, a white
No, it's
person
kind of like
probably is the one making the money from that business, from the Black Lives Matter T-shirt. Like,
Hmm.
there.
Hold on,
I look at it.
Sundown's been waiting. Sundown's been waiting. What up,
Oh
Sundown?
no,
Go
no,
ahead.
I say it's a more of a what's the word that I'm looking for? It's more of a you know how people what is the word? You know how people like when they got the COVID shots and they were posting the picture
Your
with
mic is
the COVID shot.
funny. Your mic is funny. Can you unplug and plug back in?
All right, is this better?
Perfect. Go ahead.
All right. So what I was saying is, you know how like when people they'll vote and they'll post a picture and they're like, I voted, and then you seen the people that had the COVID shots and they started posting the
Yeah.
gas
Okay.
station.
Yeah.
I
So they're
got my
doing it for
COVID shot.
yeah,
That's kind of how I feel.
clout and virtue signaling. Yeah.
Bingo.
Hmm.
So they're doing it just so that they can feel good about themselves to be able to
Hmm.
say, well, you know, I showed my support this way or I showed my support that way. But when it boils
Mm.
all boil it all the way down, them same people that's out saying all this stuff, they cross the street when you walking down the road together. You know what I mean?
Hmm. See, I would love to. I've done this before when I was kind of being a jerk, which would be like if I'm on an elevator, and some white person comes in, and I would like take two
Yo,
steps to the side to show them like, yeah, I don't trust you with all these mass shootings.
yo,
But
I had
yeah, bro.
I was I remember I was walking down the road. I was in Dallas, and I was walking down the road, and this person that saw me coming, and they crossed the street, and then I crossed the street too.
Yeah, good. You know,
So
yeah.
the person saw me, they crossed the street, and I crossed the street with them.
Yeah, because I like maybe then they'll know how it feels. There was one guy, um, when I first started putting this building together, and we started getting tenants here and there. One of the people that we got was a kid from Iowa, and no, Ohio, not Iowa. It was a kid from Ohio, and some of his friends came here. One of his friends, whenever you shook his hand, if you're black, I don't know if he was aware that he was doing this, but whenever he shook a
Wipe his
black
hand.
person's hand, yeah, he wiped his hand on his lap, and like it was the I didn't know what to do with that because one, look, if I do something to him, make him feel like shit or yell at him or whatever, and then I find out it's just subconscious, then I'll feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? But if he's actually doing this, you know, like legit maliciously, then you know, not calling him out, I feel like damn, I missed an opportunity to call him out on it. You know what I'm saying? So at some point I made a huge display where he wipes his hand on his lap. I would wipe my hands on my shirt. So it's eye level. You could see it. So I'd shake his hand and wipe my hand on my shirt. And then suddenly, like slowly be like, oh, well, it's like that. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's like that. Look at you. Like you don't notice you're doing this shit?
No, I mean, to I'm not. Did he do that to everybody? You say he just did it to you when he
Black
would do
people.
it?
No, no, nobody else but
All
black
right.
people. Only black people. Only black people. And the worst part about it is he was part of the crust punk community. If no one here knows what a crust punk is, it's basically w- it's basically white supremacists. I won't say fully white people, but so it's basically white people going back to their roots, where they'd be up in Europe and not bathing for years. Like that guy, I forgot what king it was that when he died, they cut open his coat and flies flew out. All right. So basically, the crust punk community, it's a bunch of punk people who listen up, punk music, rock music, and metal, and they would go into mosh pits. They would spend weeks, months without bathing, and the girls too. For some reason, they all thought this was okay. Like they'd come into your house, and all the under their nails would be like blackened with dirt. No deodorant could be smelled anywhere on them. You feel me? And
Is
this is
that
the
even
kind of
healthy for women to do?
it's I don't think it's healthy for anybody, but specifically for women because um I know women to be very hygienic, you know? So
Yeah.
like, for I don't know what was wrong with those people, but at some point it came into mind like, wait a minute, this is a crust punk and he thinks that he's cleaner than us. Mind blown, you know?
Yeah.
But you guys don't want to be caught in a car with a crust punk. I passed out. Like they were like, "Hey, you want to go to it was a club out in Jersey?" And then they picked me up out of state, and they're like, "You want to go to this such and such club?" I was like, all right." And it was one of the tenants, right? And hung out with them. I get in the car. It's nothing but crust punks, and I'm like, "Yo, can you guys pull a window down?" That didn't
You
help.
trying to say we stink?
Bruh, come on, man. What I just described, imagine being in a car with them and there's
Uh,
no You feel me? Like,
Look,
come on,
look,
man, stop playing, yo.
look. We were out in so we were out for this mobilization, like when you get ready to deploy, and we stayed out in the field for 90 days, 3 months. We were sleeping in our tents and everything like that out in the field.
Yeah. Mhm.
So there's no bathrooms except for like porta johns. You know what a porta potty is?
Yeah, it's
The
it's
one that
those
yeah
portable plastic, yeah,
yeah
those booths, yeah.
and we had one stationary area where we would go every couple of days to take a shower. Most people didn't take a shower. They had these things called they're basically called bull wipes, and they're kind of like baby wipes.
Mhm.
And people would just wipe their armpits and like wipe their crotch and everything with the wipes. And it was people that did that for 90 days. They didn't take an actual shower. They just wiped themselves down with baby wipes. And
Yeah,
by
bruh.
the time we got done, we got done and like went back to actual garrison, it was people that didn't take a shower for 90 days. And you could smell them. You could
What?
smell them coming like from a mile away. And the people were
Bruh.
complaining, and the people were complaining,
Unbelievable.
like the support guys,
Yeah.
people were complaining because they were like, "Oh my gosh, like, how long has it been since you guys taken a shower?" Blah blah blah. And they're like, "Look, we're infantry. We live out in the field. This is what we do." But it was like let's say, if you went away and you came back to the area, it was like smelling a dead skunk. I don't know if you've ever smelled a dead skunk,
Yeah.
but you know how like you're driving and then you smell a dead skunk on the side of the road, and it's like, Jesus, what is that?
Yeah.
That's how it smelled. But you had people that literally just wipe their crotch down with a wipe, didn't actually shower.
Yo, these people lost their fucking minds, bro.
Well,
Can you
so let me ask
imagine?
you.
Is that
Yeah,
a high
God.
IQ?
So what is it, smoothie? All right, so there's no women. There are no women in the infantry. Well, there are now, but
Yeah, at the time they
there used
weren't.
to be,
Yeah.
yeah, there used to be no women, so we didn't have any women out there with us. We had support people, but the support people were different. They got to stay out for like 2 days, and then they go back to like garrison. They'd be able to shower, do laundry, and all that other stuff. But like the men, nah. Plus, you have some country bumpkins. You have some country bumpkins out there that were like one with nature, so it was nothing for them. But it smelled like baby wipes and ass. Baby wipes,
Baby
ass,
wipes
and
and
then crotch.
ass.
That's what it smelled like, man. It was disgusting.
It's like baby wipes and ass.
No, because it's only like baby wipes. It can only do so
Oh,
much.
You
So
can
if
only
you're
do
not
so much.
washing, yeah.
Come on,
So
son.
if you're
Stop
not
playing.
washing, so if you're
Yo,
not washing and you're just wiping down your area, it's just going to add to the
look,
funk.
listen, that shit, that's emergency stuff. You feel me? Like if you out there, like let's say, you out there for 24 hours, like you couldn't come home and you start feeling a little funky. I could see you doing that because in a couple hours you're gonna get home and take a shower. But
right.
for you
Yeah,
to these dudes did this on purpose. For your
yeah.
information, was it Smoothie? One of these people in the chat asked, "Crust what? Crust punk." So for your information, Morena Reyes and Smoothie D, crust punk, also known as crust or stenchcore, is a form of music influenced by English
ETA?
punk rock. I'm sorry, God.
Oh no, no, I was just
Yeah, hold on.
muttering to myself.
Okay. Crust or stenchcore is a form of music influenced by English punk rock and extreme metal. The style, which has evolved in 1980s England, often has songs with dark, pessimistic lyrics, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was very pessimistic. It was suicide music, playing that all that shit in the car. While I'm smelling this filthy shit, I'm hearing,
Dude, I
all
can
this kill
only
me music.
imagine,
Yo.
bro. Like the props to the bus driver, man. So we got on a giant bus,
He
and
said
I
props to the
was
bus
like,
driver.
yo,
Yo, the bus
props to
driver
him.
probably had to have those things on. The things that the pilots have, those gas masks that the pilots.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, props to him because it was like 55 dudes on there that didn't shower for like 3 months. And I was like, yo,
Yeah, but the
but it
thing
was
is,
like
okay, look, this was what? Can you remind me what this was about? This was military stuff, yeah?
this is so we had to do a mode like we mobilized like get ready to deploy, so we had to do our train up, and it was basically kind of mirroring what we were going to be doing in Afghanistan. So we were living out in like tent city. That's what they call
Yeah. Okay. See that. Okay. Look. Come on, man. Sundown. That's necessity, right? Look. I don't. I'm not gonna give them too much of a pass, right? Because you got to do something. But at the very least, I could understand it as a professional. Like, yo, that's what you had to do out there. You could have done more, but whatever.
it.
But
Yeah,
for
that's
these,
different than what you're
yeah, that's
talking
different.
about.
Yeah.
That's somebody willfully ignoring the
Yeah,
obligation.
like this is a thing where it's not like for 90 days I'm a hunker down and put up with this. This is okay. This is how I live. These dudes they call them the crust punk and stench core. You feel me? And this dude, hold up. Crust is partly defined by bassy or bassy. I don't know how they're pronouncing this. By bassy, dirty sound. Well, it was more than a sound when I was in that car, dude. And uh, um part of the philosophy when I spoke with one of those women there, part of the philosophy was that they're going against social order, right? Look, man, you gonna social order your ass into the shower if you gonna come into this
Yeah,
building.
yeah, yo,
You feel me? And hold on, let me see, anarcho punk. Yeah, they take their cues from anarcho punk, crass, and discharge. Mm. Just the names of the shit. Discharge, crass, crust. What the
yo.
fuck?
We had this
Yo, like
we had this platoon sergeant. We had this army platoon sergeant, and he had a weird accent. So when he would say wash, it would sound like wash. He
what?
would
Oh, I
say,
think yeah, they're
yeah,
from like they're from like Midwest. You
yeah.
gotta wash up. You didn't wash up.
It's like,
You gotta wash your
man,
ears.
I gotta, yeah,
You're not getting on this bus till you wash your ears.
yeah. Wash. Some
Yeah,
of y'all smell like
I
y'all
don't
ain't
know what
washed your
region that
asses in a
is.
couple of days.
Yeah,
Yo,
I don't know what region is that where all that the sounds like like
yeah.
yeah, all that sound like in this region, but I don't know if it's Midwest, but ass what or were you never were here? Who's that? You were never here. I don't know what that is, Morena. I don't know who you're responding to. But let's see. Blood Moon said, I listen to that style of music, but I don't follow their lead. Oh, you listen to punk and metal. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you I'm a big metal fan. I listen to
Oh yeah.
Monster Magnet, fucking Pantera, right? I listen to all that shit. But
Metallica, would Metallica be considered metal
well, the thing is,
or rock
Metallica
or
start.
rock?
Look. Purists don't consider Metallica metal no more. They consider them like kind of like sellouts, right? So Metallica started off pretty metal, but then when they got really melodic, with some of their albums became very melodic, like the House That Jack Built, that song. Um, the other one. Where do I take this pain of mine? Dun, 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 dun. Until it sleeps. That song. I can't think of the title until I sing a couple bars of the lyrics. But
Yeah.
yeah, until it sleeps, and those other songs and albums. After they did all that, they like the metal community said they're not metal. So like real metal to them now is basically like Metalocalypse. If you guys seen the
Yeah.
TV show
Yeah.
Metalocalypse, where it's basically grunting, I have traveled down the
Oh
world.
man.
Yeah,
Dude,
I can't stand that
oh
song.
man.
That kind of song. Nah.
That's,
Like I don't listen to that shit. My business partner, that was his shit. That was his shit. But now he listens to Breaking Benjamin, and he put me on Breaking Benjamin. So shout out to him. Carl Olson, my business partner. So I love Breaking Benjamin, but he doesn't love them. He passed them on to me, and then went back to all the whoa, where they're like they have their hair grown down to their ass, and then they do like a windmill with their head while the song is going. You will not survive. I'm like, all right,
I don't
Carl.
listen to that
All right,
kind of
Carl.
music.
You take that shit
That's
over there,
screamo.
Carl.
That's just screamo. Yeah.
Screamo.
I don't do screamo.
Yeah. Well, that dude, we trying to do like graphic design for these clients and shit. This dude's blasting that shit. I'm like, dude, we got clients coming through here in the office. You can't be playing this shit, man. Play that shit on your off time. Like on your matter of fact, not off time, on your own time. I don't want to hear that shit neither, let alone the clients. But when he plays stuff like what we call Breaking Benjamin, I could deal with that because it's very melodic. You know what I'm saying? So I could deal with that shit. What else? Stained. I could deal with Stained. Like the post
That's
grunge.
it's been a while.
Yeah, that's my
Them,
dude.
right?
It's been a
Yeah.
while
Yeah. Yo,
since I
that
could.
song got me through some
That's my
song
got
got
you
me
through
through
some
some
shit, right?
times, man.
Why is it all you
Yeah, that song
military
got me
dudes
through some
love
times.
Stained, yo?
That song,
Military dudes
that's
love
the
Stained.
there was like songs that they said songs that the hood loved, and then they'll play a bunch of like pop songs that everybody loved. That's one of them.
Oh, that's the stuff you like. All aboard. I guess the crust punks got her. The crust punks got all aboard. As soon as you come
Been a
back on, I'll
while.
let you back. Yeah, yo, that song is crack. But did you know that he got blamed for because he plays suicide music too?
Yeah,
I mean he does have uplifting shit like now that
that's
we're
a suicidal
here.
song right there. That's
Oh,
a
which one?
suicidal
Yeah,
song.
it's been a while. Yeah, that's one of the songs. A couple girls slit their wrists to that song, and then they
The
tried to
hell?
jail this dude for that shit. Yeah, they tried to jail this dude for that shit. They're like, you know what?
Yeah,
Not jail him, but like they threatened him with like action. They were like, look, you might even get sued for this. And he's like, look, I'm kind of like emoting the feelings of a generation. You can't blame me
yeah.
for what you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
You ever
look,
listen
man.
to My Chemical Romance?
If I hear a couple bars, I'll remember. But My Chemical Romance, I don't remember the name. It doesn't ring a bell. But hold on. There's an echo. Hold on. Let me see. It was you all aboard. Soon as you muted up, the echo went away. But Stain had some uplifting shit. Like the song that showed up in Punisher. That song was kind of cool. Um, Now that we're here, it's so far away. All the struggles we
I
thought
hate
was in
Nickelback.
vain. You don't like it? It
Oh
was
my
probably
god,
because
you guys are
you played it too
vibing
much.
so hard to this whatever this is. I don't know what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
it sounds like it came from someone's mother's basement and they need to take a
What?
bath.
Oh,
And
Probably.
the crust punk thing? Nah. We're not singing crust punk stuff.
that
We
crust punk
moved on.
stuff, that sounds like a dirty ass kid whose mother kept saying take a bath, and they were like, "No, mom,"
Yo,
like
that guy,
Fuck you,
that
mom.
platoon
"Fuck
sergeant.
you,
Yo,
mom,
that platoon sergeant.
leave me alone, let
That
me
I
live
was
my
telling you
life."
about.
Like
Look,
that sounds like that, and then they just made a
we had
song
this
about
one
it.
dude.
Like,
We had this one guy. We had this one guy, and we don't even think he was wiping. And the platoon sergeant, he like pulls him off to the side, and he takes him to like the little forest line area, and all you heard was, "You smell like a damn dead animal. You need to go wash your ass."
Yo,
It was like and everybody was saying it. They're like, "God damn, dude, you smell like a damn dead animal. You need to go wash your ass." Oh my god, I miss those days. Now
That's crazy.
I don't even get to do any of that stuff anymore because I sit in the office up there and rent.
yo, a lot of the bands, a lot of the bands, they altered some of their songs to basically cater to the military, like to support the troops.
Yeah,
Like they found out that the troops are fans. Like that came as a surprise to me too. I didn't know that. I didn't think like the Army, Navy, and stuff like that would love those kinds of songs. But like Three Doors Down.
yeah. You know that the one song, uh, was it Breaking Benjamin? Only the strongest
Yeah.
will survive. That was
Only the
the army.
strongest will
Yeah, the army.
survive.
Like for Ranger School,
Yeah.
not Ranger Battalion, but like Ranger School where you go to get the little tad. Um, they were playing that song for like the recruitment video.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of those bands were popular for the military.
I mean, I would play it, but the music industry don't play games on YouTube. Our show will be taken down tonight, so I can't play it. But I know the song you mean. I think is it because the U.S. Navy even like some of these fighting forces will actually, I don't know if they pay for the rights to the songs and stuff like that, but like there's a song, "Blow Me Away, I Can't Something Anymore." I was like, huh,
Yeah, yeah, that's the song I'm talking
that's the
about.
song. Yeah, that's the shit. That's
That's
that shit.
the Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, that's that shit.
Something. They
They
also
come
played
in line one at a time, ready to
yeah, that's the one at
play.
Ranger School. Like
That's
for
my
Ranger School,
shit.
that was their recruitment song that they
Yeah.
used. There's another song out there.
Uh,
I forget what makes it called. There Goes
uh,
My Hero. I think it was
I think that's Foo
um
Fighters. There
yeah,
goes my hero.
yeah, that was another one too.
Watching as
So a
it
couple songs.
go. That's my shit. With Foo Fighters, I like Monkey Wrench, and also which one is dun, 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 dun. One by one I've been searching for something, something never comes, never leads to nothing. But I can't think of the name of the songs. But usually if I hear the bars, I can like remember the songs though. But the military, for some reason, like the Navy had, oh, Cornell Brown, you about to bounce, Cornell? Hello, it's been nice. See y'all Thursday. Hell yeah, Cornell. Hit us up Thursday. We'll chop it up. Matter of fact, chop it up is officially Friday, but on Thursday it's uppity knickers. But what was I saying here? The Navy had the song from the group well, what's the name of the band that did the Scorpion King soundtrack? I stand alone.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Yeah. They had that, and they had Keith David, you know,
He was the
basically,
voice, the
yeah,
recruiter,
yeah, and then he talk
television
over
announcer. Yeah.
it. And it was like dun 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 in the Navy. Dun 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 dun. I'm like, oh shit. These dudes think they're Elsa. Stop playing. I like stuff like that though. You know, and I'm thinking they got a lot of people you know, to basically join up for that. You know, not for that, but like you know, by marketing to them and appealing to their musical sense and stuff like that. But and no Blood Moon, I would never use auto tune if I was a singer, actual singer. It make me sound like a robot. Well, who are the eight people here? Yeah, right. Who are the eight? It's probably people like Blood Moon. It's probably people who are looking for stuff they can quote and like use against us later on and stuff. You know, or maybe it's legit people. I don't know. You know, because this is the what the hell?
Yo,
What up?
really, Moreno?
What Morena
So I
saying?
sound like rubbing styrofoam together.
Yo, these people got jokes, son. Why they but let me see what else that I wanted to actually say. But I probably need to get going though. I need to get these commissions done. But this after party was crazy. We discussed a lot of shit and all aboard. If you can actually, I'm gonna go to the comments section here and drop my email. Well, actually, my PayPal is also my email, so you
Hey,
can just email
Pro
me.
Tip, can
Yeah,
you do
what
me
up?
a
What up?
favor? Can
No
you
doubt.
go back in time and like cut out the part where we were singing?
You want to hear us singing? Because
I don't want to be I don't want to get clipped sounding like Ice JJ Fish. If you know who that is.
we sound like we sound like cat nails on a chalkboard, cat scratching chalkboards. But yeah, man, you guys need to swing back on Thursday and Friday. Then we could on Friday it's chop it up. On Thursday it's uppity knickers. So if you want to discuss business, if you have stuff that I don't have much of a platform, but whatever it is, mikasa sukasa. Right. So if you got stuff that you want to promote, we'll put it up here. We'll put it up here on uppity knickers. Whether it's a business or an album like dude who came by here who had those songs, he was spitting that fire. I forgot his name, but on the playback, I'll get his name. But those songs were fire.
Just
Those
make
songs
sure
were
you
tight.
edit my singing out. Yeah, just make sure
Yeah,
you
you
edit my
sing it. Mine too, yo. Yo, mine too.
But
We
yo, it's been
gotta.
a pleasure, man. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure.
absolutely. Yeah,
I can't say that there is a huge contrast uh with coming on your lives. We don't have to like talk over each other, which is always welcome.
yeah. Look,
Always
man. I
supposed to
mean,
change your pace.
cool. And with the debate platforms, when we're gonna do the debates, I tried doing that already, and it kind of works. Where I give each person 2 minutes, and their opponent or anybody else in general gets two interruptions, and the interruptions cannot be over 6 seconds, right? So someone's having a spiel, and you feel like if you don't address what they're saying right away, the topics will move on. You could get like 6 seconds to say, well, I don't agree with that, blah blah blah, and then the person can continue for their 2 minutes, and then the other person gets 2 minutes. That way we don't have, you know, people going super long-winded talking for like 15 minutes without stopping. And I ain't gonna mention no names, but some people be doing that.
You
You
better
know?
not be talking about me.
No, not you. I only met you
No.
just tonight. I only
But I'm
met
gonna
you
head out, man.
tonight. All
That
right,
sounds
sundown.
fair though. Damn, I
Yeah,
can't believe it's 5 something in the morning. This flew by.
yeah. This is crazy. We do this all the time. And
I'm
how
here
many
now.
hours?
Like
This is three
I'm here.
hours.
I'm a late nighter. Like I'm always up. So this is right up my alley. I definitely want to connect with you and be an uppity knicker as well.
Hell yeah. You know, get on that, get in the movement. Then we could get things popping because we're doing businesses. We're doing like my childhood friend. He still connects with me. Friendship and business tip. He's a director, and we're looking into buying a Red One camera eventually, right? And when I say eventually, I don't mean like 10 years down the line. I mean like eventually, like maybe next year or a year after that, right? Red One cameras, for those who don't know what a Red One camera is, a Red One camera is basically the camera that movie industry people use now, right? So, Star Wars, Star Trek, they all use like red ones and higher, right? So red one, even though red one is kind of like the basement level, it's still industry standard. So we're looking to get something like that. Okay. So if you guys are up there and you got yourself a story, right? And that's the other thing I want to do. I want to have line readings here because I wrote a script, right? I wrote a horror movie script and I want us to line read it. So all of y'all who got voices, right? Y'all need to come on and then do voices. And then we
We all
could do
have
that.
voices.
You got voices?
We all have voices, but I don't know if they're
No,
good.
no. I mean
They're all
voices like,
good.
oh my God, stop! Don't kill me. I mean voices. You know what I mean?
Please don't hurt me.
Exactly. Just like that. Exactly.
But
Yeah.
I really
Hide
enjoyed
by the
like
shed. Oh,
I
sorry, go ahead.
enjoyed this platform so much because you're really nice. You're good at what you do. You know how to moderate. And I think you're really just engaging with the conversation. So keep going. Like you have no choice but to get bigger. Like
Oh, thank you.
I
Thanks a
can
lot.
see it
Oh,
for
cool.
sure.
Thank you. Yeah, now you got me like blushing and shit. But thank you very much. But yeah, we could do all that stuff. And again, if you guys are out there and you have 1 second. Sorry, allergy season's here. I have to cough once in a while. But if you guys have screenplays, I want to read it. And if I see that it's 1 second. If I see that it has like potential for like interaction stuff like that, and we could have like let me see, we can get like 9 people actually. There's spots on the on StreamYard for like 9, 10 people, so we can have a good script reading on here for something really funny. And then also I did have a testing sound effect thing where we can actually hear music and speak on here. So this could be fun. This could be fun. We can probably have uppity knickers or we have some sort of movie night or something like that. Monday movie nights, right? Where you bring your script and then we read it. We do a line reading. So anyhow, it's been great having all of you guys here. Thanks for stopping by. All aboard. I really enjoyed having you here.
Thank you.
You know, you've been amazing. Thank you for stopping by, and thanks to all the guests who stopped by tonight. Please don't forget by Thursday we'll have uppity knickers. By Friday we'll have chop it up. And it let me see. I don't know how many people were here ultimately, but like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and if you're on any social media platform, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube itself, share a link to this channel.
Got you.
And so I'm about to, yeah, Morena. I'll talk to you later. And we're ending the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2. Goodbye, everyone.